How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing, chat? Today, just a quick notice. Those of you who are avid Vault Hunters fan, Megalith, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Today, there's no connection to the server with any donos or anything like that. Please hold everything today. Just chill, hang out, have a good time. We got some pretty big things to go through. Thank you, Jomi, for the 100 bits. I won't be seeing the notifications. I'll be catching up on it afterwards. I don't have enough screen space to cover everything. And as we discussed, in the respect of my entire dev team who wants to participate in its podcast, this is going to be a podcast in the true essence of a podcast. You don't actually need to view anything on screen except for one thing that I'm going to show you guys. In the middle of it, I'm going to show you a preview, but I'll let you know when that happens. Other than that, you can just listen in. You can literally you can be driving your car and just listen into the podcast. There's nothing interesting on the screen going on. And on that note, I'm gonna change screens. Godcast, yes. We're hanging out in Pete's restaurant, which is quite funny. Okay, I see. They are in the other voice channel. I guess I will go in here. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, today we are here, and I'm kind of going to. We planned out a little bit, but I want to try and keep this podcast as organic as possible. We have quite a few things that we want to talk to you guys about. And of course, first of all, big thank you for being here. Very excited to do a little bit behind the scenes talk and go through everything that we work on a daily basis. As you all know, Vault Hunters is a big development machine at this point in time. We are pushing out patches. We are doing all of these weird things. And the game itself, honestly, has turned from a mod and a mod pack into a very much a game on its own, which is really cool. Heckfire is just staring at the ground. Heckfire is sad. No. On that note, my co-host that will help me out with the hosting, we have, of course, Heckfire, our beloved. Hello, Hell.
Hello.
Hello. We'll do some sound test here. Does everybody hear Hell enough?
Hello.
I think it should be good, actually. I hear you brilliantly fine. And we have Pete here as well, because we're borrowing his restaurant. What's up, Pete?
Yep, that's the only reason I'm here. Man in the restaurant, that's it. Hey, how you doing?
It is a beautiful place, I gotta say.
Thank you.
No, we have a lot of other people here as well. The entire dev team. No, I lie. Not the entire dev team. Not everybody felt comfortable with being on here, but we do have a very healthy amount of the dev team. I'm just gonna introduce everybody. We have Kumara, our lead artist and responsible for all the pixel art and all the icons and stuff in Vault Hunters. How are you doing tonight, Kumara? Not on screen though, just here.
I'm doing well. Hello.
Is my overlay? I worked out an overlay for Discord. I thought it was pro. Is that not working? Can someone say something again?
You've set it up for the wrong channel.
Yeah, you have it.
Oh, yeah, true. Damn. Okay. I'm going to fix that.
Oh.
I'm going to fix that.
Hold.
Because that was such a cool thing. I was so excited about. I was like, I am not a professional streamer. I suck at this. But then that one thing. Vault Hunters. Okay, hold on. Where are we in?
We're holding. Voice 1.
Voice 1. Oh no, it doesn't come up here. Oh no. No, it doesn't. What the? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Okay, I got it. Hold on. Chat, check this out. It's got been working on this all day. Oh no, I have to redo it. Oh, okay, I got it. I got this. This took me like 5 hours earlier, but now I will do it very quickly. Okay, we try this. My chat is used to this, so it's fine. Pete is
We're
like...
all professionals here.
Pete's like, I'm a professional streamer. What the hell is this guy doing, stupid YouTuber? Okay, try it
Hey,
now.
whoa,
It
whoa.
works.
I'm chilling.
Look at that. It works. So
Oh,
now,
yeah.
now if Kamara says something, we should be recognized that it's Kamara. Hello, Kamara. What's happening?
Oh,
See, we seem to have
Holding.
lost Kamara. Let's move over to Goody, who's also here. How are you, Goody?
Hello, I'm doing very, very fine.
Goody,
How
who
you
is
doing?
good. Goody, who has been with us from the start, season 1. I found Goody to roll back a little bit. I found Goody when I was when we were in the middle of development of Vault Hunters 1, me and Captain Vutax mainly. I needed to see what we could do with Twitch integration. And I found Goody, and I was like, "Do you want to join this project?" And he said, "No, I don't. I don't want to join your team."
That was way before. It was.
Oh yeah,
it
that was
even
Funcraft. That was Funcraft.
Funcraft times,
True.
right? Remember? Yeah.
The
You
success.
came into me.
Yeah.
Sorry. You came into me. You asked me if you want me to, like, if you want me to help you with the Twitch response stuff, and I was like, I'm full with the tasks I have in my hand, and I'm not sure if I could have time to do that. But then
Yeah.
you convinced me, and I'm so glad you.
This was back in Funcraft, and this is something that most people may not remember, but the Vault Hunters, last season of Vault Hunters, wasn't actually the first time we tried to do something different than an integrated Minecraft experience. We had a pack called Funcraft, which was a lot of fun as well, had a lot of issues for sure, but it was kind of testing the waters of tying Twitch together with Minecraft and all of that. And yeah, like I said, I remember asking Goody, dude, you can join my team. It will be awesome. It will be fun. We've done some projects in the past. He's like, no. And then he was like, maybe I could join Discord if you want me to. I'm like, okay, here's a link. And here we are. So 2 years later, it's good to have you, Goody.
Yeah, it's awesome that you convinced me that day. I'm so glad.
Nice. We also have Kumara, let's see. Can we talk now? Hello?
Yes, I had myself double muted. Sorry.
There she is. It is working now. Kumara, as I said earlier, does all of the graphics. Well, most of them. I've actually drawn the pizza that's in the background there. That's an Iskal art. I'm very proud of it. Pete, your logo of your shop is drawn by me. How does that feel?
Makes the shop even better.
Ooh, thank you, sir. And then we have with us also Kim and Jax, who is the. I've said many times I reference you as the lead builder because there are other people that have been building, but when it comes to actually building, placing down blocks, yes, we have more people on that team, but Kim has been here since the start. And Kim has been a part of my community for a very long time and been building the most amazing things I've ever seen. And I knew going into Vault Hunters that I'm going to need something impressive. I'm going to need a builder, Kim, how are you doing?
I'm good. Morena, kia ora koutou from New Zealand, everybody. How are we?
Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. for you, 4 a.m. I don't know.
7 a.m.
Oh, that's not too bad then. That's fine.
Not too bad. I got coffee. We're all good.
Good stuff. So all of the vault rooms that we are running through in the series is kind of created by, or with at least Kim and Jax. And moving on in the build team, we have divided it into build team. This season, one of the things that I wanted to change from season 1 to season 2 was the dynamic generation in rooms, making sure that as I enter a room, I don't want the chest to be in the same place every time, and I don't want the structure to be in the same place. I had this vision that, okay, what if Kim makes a plain, sort of room, and then we have these pieces that like builds on top of each other. And so I tweeted out that I needed someone who knew jigsawing in Minecraft, and I got a reply from Muki Tanuki, who is with us as well here today, who said that I'm the guy that has made the armor statues on Hermitcraft. And I was like, that's pretty pog. How are you, Mookie?
I am doing all right.
Good stuff. And because of Mookie, we were able to get all of these magical jigsaw things. So there are things actually in vaults at the moment. Can you guys believe this? That we haven't yet seen. Or at least I haven't seen. I have never seen the big treasure chest in one of the pirate rooms, for example. Very weird.
We have special structures that spawn in only at certain times.
Only at certain times. It's like a time lock, and I always stream on the wrong hour. I see. Interesting. Also, just joining actually as well in voice is the last introduction as Captain Vutax, who is of course the man, the myth, the legend. I would go as far as saying that come for season 1 and for the beginning of season 2, Vutax has done majority of the code that started us off, and is the man behind the first vault generator. How are you tonight, Vutax, my friend?
Hello. I'm
Hello.
doing great.
Good. Very nice. All right, so we have introduced the people that are sitting here behind the scene, but it's mainly going to be the three of us on screen that are talking to begin with, and we're going to move through a few different sections and things like that. I wanted to address something to start off this podcast that I get asked a lot, and something that I saw on the Reddit. Thank you, by the way, to Daycare and Calverine and everyone else on Reddit who's been helping out and making a nice post and stuff like that. We do have Dowski as well, but I didn't see him in the list. Oh, I have scrolled down. First I thought that Dowski was missing. Dowski, you have to wait for your turn. I'm sorry. Hello.
That's fine. I'll just broom some stuff.
Dowski is the vault janitor. Chat. That's his title. I'm going to print a business card for him and that. Anyway, so the way Vault Hunters came about was last summer 2020. The pandemic had just hit, and I wanted to play modded Minecraft so badly. I really wanted to play modded Minecraft, but I couldn't find a motive. And this may sound weird to many of you guys viewing this or watching this, but whenever I do something in Hermitcraft or in Minecraft in general, having played this game for 10, 11 years, I want to find a motive, a reason to do something. Why am I building a guardian farm? Why am I spending the next 2 weeks clearing an ocean? You know, all of these things. And surely enough, like, the motive can be that Etho is an absolute shopaholic and I need to provide him with diamonds, you know, or Grian has raised his prices in his shop, whatever. But there needs to be a motive, and much the same, I tried to find a motive in modded Minecraft. And I remember we have other people here that are part of my team that are not here, but I remember saying to my friend Vutax that can we make a mod that makes me collect resources in another dimension that I only have access to for a certain amount of time, and if I don't make it out, I die. And can we make access to this dimension random? And I think I remember Vutax saying, what do you mean random? And I said, well, in modern Minecraft, usually, you know, you play a kitchen sink pack, you go into your applied logistics system or your refined storage system, and there's 500,000 sugarcane that you have. And you kind of wonder, like, what am I ever going to have 500,000 sugarcane for? And I was like, well, if we can make a key to this place that costs different things every single time, but all of these things are farmable, then I have a reason to build a factory, you know? And for those of you who are long-term Iskalian viewers, you know that I love my factories. And that's kind of how it all started. The Vault Crystal and the recipe for the Vault Crystal, the randomness in creating a crystal and making farms and being like, you know, all of these things. This was really smart, says chat. Well, thank you. That's how it all started. And then Vutax shocked the heck out of me when he presented me with this incredible generator. It was, you know, it took 5 minutes to load, and it was zombies with dual wielding swords running at you, and there was not like one zombie, there was like 50 zombies immediately when I entered. And I was like, do you not think this is a bit too hard? It's like, no, this is fine. And it's funnier this way because you will die a lot. Was what Vutax said. And when I said, do they swing with both arms? He went, no. I said, okay, we have to remove that. They can't be dual wielding, dude. It looks weird. Anyway, that's how Voltas came about. And then, of course, since then it's passed, 10 months has passed. The team has doubled in size. We have got so many talented people on the team, and I'm so happy to have everyone here. And we have some big announcements today, but before we get into that, I feel like we want to talk a little bit to everyone about how it is to develop a game. This has moved into a game. For me, of course, building on how this got started, once I had the crystal, once I had the recipe thing sorted out, once I had my dimension, I wanted to go as far as I could in a direction that I hadn't seen any mod pack do, which was with character building. Now, there are mods to do this. Astral Sorcery, Heckfire Our Beloved.
That is one option, maybe.
It's one option, absolutely. If you haven't checked out Astral Sorcery chat, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the mod, but you should. It's an absolute unit of a mod, and the only reason we don't have it in Vault Hunters, I get asked a lot why we don't have Astral Sorcery, is because it would be impossible to balance, and it's too similar to Vault Hunter's own talent system. So it would be hard to try and balance that. But yeah, I've always been a big fan of this whole character building. I like games like Diablo. I would like to say that I like World of Warcraft. I don't, but I like the idea of World of Warcraft. And so we wanted to get to a point where you could do all of these things in Minecraft, pretty much. To get there is hard, though, and balancing Vault Hunters has been and is a big challenge. And this is kind of where I want to give a big shout out to Hellfire, our beloved, who came in to give you some background of Hellfire and me and our relationship in terms of working with these things. I've known Hellfire for a few years. He helped us with Funcraft. If there's anyone in chat remembering, in Funcraft you sacrificed it's gonna sound pretty cruel, but whenever someone subscribed, you got a little bit of you got a fighter, and when you killed the fighter, you got a head. And if you threw that head in a cauldron, you got a chance at getting an amulet. And Hellfire took that cauldron and he designed it so it had like these fantastic VFX particles that were flying all over the place. And I reached out to Hellfire and I said, listen, I'm a big fan of your mod. I think it's amazing the stuff you've done. Could you help us here, with this little thing? And then Hellfire was in my development team, or in the Discord, for a long time. Wasn't part of season 1 so much. And then in season 2, I just felt, I need you, Hellfire. Do you want to join? And Hellfire was like, no, I'm too busy at the moment. And I was like, but please. And eventually you got in here, Hell. And I hope that you enjoy it every time, even though it's a lot of
definitely.
stuff. Good.
And yeah, I'm also like in the same kind of design that Vault Hunters is going, with a lot of character building skills and stuff. Especially in the light of something like Diablo and now Path of Exile. I'm also very interested in that kind of game, so I feel like drawing parallels from these games and stuff is gonna make this experience much better.
Absolutely, 100%. And I've many times said, I can't believe, we have several times brought things to the table and we've had the same idea, but we haven't talked with each other. It's just been like, okay, so wait a minute, wait, you're saying what I'm saying? Okay, let's do it.
There's been discussions that were just each other agreeing
for a long time. It's been really weird. I mean, weird. It's been really good, to be honest. I feel like there's a meme out there called Nerf Skull. It's mostly actually from season 1, but to bring us into this balanced discussion that I want to have. And chat, by the way, we're gonna take some questions at the end of this podcast. If you guys are preparing some questions, we'll take them at the end of the podcast. We'll be happy to answer as much as we can. We do have some questions already that we'll get into later. But when we talk about balance, one of the things that broke Vault Hunters 1, and I never really said this out loud, and I think it's time I admit that there was a big issue in Vault Hunter 1. There was a lot of issues, but there was one thing that we immediately fixed in season 2. And someone in chat has already pointed it out. Was it the captain? He was part of the problem. No. In season 1, Resistance absolutely broke Vault Hunters. and me and Vutax, we were struggling with this, and I gotta be honest, Vutax came to me and he said, I don't like the fact that we have these resistance effects, etc. It's really hard to build anything special when 80% of the damage is negated by default. And I didn't think about it. I was like, it's part of progression. But in reality, what happened in Season 1 was, if you play Season 1 and you do not take resistance and max that talent, then you are not going to be able to play Vault Hunters after a certain level. Like, you will just not survive. I think it's after level 50 or something. Because we had to balance the game after the fact that everyone took resistance. But it's been a big learning process for all of us, seeing how different players, Pete is here as an example, seeing how different players approach the Vault. And I think me and Hellfire, specifically lately, we've been watching, haven't we, Hell?
Yeah, especially, as you said, different approaches to vaults, like how are different players interacting with mobs, with potential rewards, and things like that all factor into us making decisions, like how do we want to tackle that? Is there something wrong? Do we feel like some playstyle is a bit off balance, so it's like too rewarding, it is not rewarding enough? Are there certain aspects to the vaults that we feel are completely undervalued at the moment? Do we need to do something about that? Should this be part of normal gameplay, or should there be a bigger focus on that? Well, I think 1 or 2 patches ago, we specifically targeted mobs. With the introduction of soul shards, was our intention to move a bigger focus towards killing mobs and making just every mob that you encounter in the vault worthwhile to kill. And we tied a lot of rewards to this, and we're still tinkering around a bit with numbers, if the numbers are too high or too low. And we, try to make that interesting, even though mobs themselves do not drop, like, let's say, rotten flesh or whatever. So, coming up with different ideas and seeing what's currently broken is, a process. And sometimes this requires nerfs if we feel like something is too strong. Sometimes it might not be too strong. It might just also be that everything else is too weak. So we have to look carefully and evaluate what the kind of playstyle is that we are aiming for.
Yeah, and this is exactly why nerfs happen. It's like we haven't tested everything pre-time, and this is why video games do this all the time, because once you get a player base, once you see a man crafting a jetpack that is unbreakable and has infinite fuel and is still fine in the vault, that's when you realize that, okay, we need strays, Pete. You're the reason strays are a thing.
Oh.
How does it feel?
And I'm happy about that.
You're happy about that?
Very happy.
Do you feel like you have ever got nerfed hard to a point where it's been like really annoying for you, or do you what's your feeling?
No, so when I was introduced in this series and I started like really grinding things out, mechanism being the number one that I think we all know, I was told by my chat, like, listen, you got to know what happened to Jordan in season 1. You got to know that anything that happens to you has already happened to other players in a more severe fashion. And of course, I hadn't had it happen to me yet, like, hadn't something taken away from me that I'd worked hard on getting, so I wasn't really used to the fact. So when the whole jetpack thing came around, the armored jetpack specifically, I think you and I had a lot of back and forth on like, okay, well, I've crafted this thing that took me a lot of knowledge stars, a lot of time, and it's like, no, it's just going to get removed. And I was sitting there for a while like, that's a bit difficult to swallow. But that was when you had introduced the idea to me, like, listen, it's more than just, okay, well, even if it is equal to, some of the gear that we already have in the game and it wouldn't be that big of a change, you were telling me of like, okay, well, there's different builds, like we can't have you just flying around in the vault with no drawbacks. If you're going to be flying around the vault, you need to be squishy. Like, you need to play the game differently than a person would be able to if they were wearing full gear. And at that point, I kind of realized we're on here to test. We're on here to refine the game even more. And mechanism was the way that I had gone down. And it's like, okay, there's a lot of things that are untested here that will come from different people and different players and their perspective on how they want to play the game. So it was just, at that point, I kind of realized like, okay, breaking the game could be a good thing for the PAX development so that it doesn't go into like public release and there's all these glaring issues of, oh, just take this mod, just tunnel vision it, and then everything will be easier for you. Kind of like what you were saying about how season 1 had resistance. I wasn't there to play it, but it sounds like, what you guys were saying, you had to balance around, okay, we have this one thing in the game that everybody's going, and if someone doesn't go it, then it's basically going to be unplayable for you after a certain point. We don't want Mechanism or a Jetpack to be that thing where if you don't go it, vaults are just going to be terrible for you, and you'll basically have to restart the pack over if you didn't just tunnel vision Mechanism as the first thing that you unlock. So exactly. I got used to it, and I actually like the pitch a lot better now that things that I make are just kind of like, hey devs, this thing exists, time to watch my POV and see if you like me having it or not. And yeah, it's cool.
It goes back to a core vision that me and Hell and Vutax, I assume the entire dev team, but I've spoken specifically with Vutax and Hell about this share, and that is metas are good in games, and a meta is describing the mainstream way of playing a game. Metas are good, but if we can have 5 metas, 5 ways of playing the game that are superior, but they are superior catered to the way you want to play the game, then I'm happy. So it's not about like not having a fun feature, because that's also very important. Make sure that it's fun, but it's about having a, like you said, we don't want to be balancing the pack around one of these metas, which is what happened in season 1. And Hell kind of said it interestingly here a second ago, where, sometimes we discover that things are too weak. We rarely ever speak about buffs, but we are buffing things almost every day. We are tweaking that little value there, this little value there. We are. There's a lot of buffs going on behind the scenes that you guys never see. And I mean, our goal is that every single player who plays Minecraft should be able to play Vault Hunters and enjoy it in their own style. And that's the beauty with this Mechanism Jetpack, for example. It's still, and we are allowing it to be an incredibly strong build early mid game. And we kind of watched Pete's POV and we were like, you know what? Yes, it is very strong, but we are fine with this. We are okay with this. It's not the only way to play the pack.
Yeah. As Isko says, there's always like an evaluation to be made. Do we feel it is too strong? And in that case, we feel like there's a certain risk also involved. Like you're taking more damage. If you're not paying attention all the time, you might see yourself in a very disadvantageous position all of a sudden. And it's not like there's only the option for jetpacks. If we are, for example, specifically looking at Build a Vault with all the floating items, you can always have other options to get to them. Like you can dash to them, you can use a picker rank to bring the item to you, and things like that. So as long as there's a variety of options and there is like not one best way of doing things, I feel like, yeah, that's still a decent thing.
Absolutely. And today, chat, we will announce something that's coming in the next patch. Something that I haven't yet spoken about. We all know that the next patch is the Eternal updates, and everyone's seem excited about it. Chat, can we get some hype over the Eternal update, because Hellfire has been working so hard on it, and Vutax as well on another part of it. But in that patch, we are doing another thing as well that I feel like we should talk a little bit about, because it's kind of big, isn't it, Hella? I'll let you take the word here of what we're doing. This may be a bit shocking to people, and I don't think Pete has heard this either, so I'd like to hear his response specifically.
Yeah, sure. We are looking specifically at the 2 talents, or the 2 main lines of defense that are resistance and parry. With resistance lowering the damage that you take, and it's always like a percentage amount that you take less damage. And parry being kind of the bit opposite. It doesn't reduce the damage that you take, but it gives you a chance of just not taking any damage. If we are looking at the extremes, it always behaves the same way. With 100% resistance, you don't take damage. With 100% parry, you don't take damage. However, in between, it is a bit different. Let's say you have 70% resistance, then all of a sudden resistance is really good. Whereas with 70% parry, well, especially if we're looking at the later game stages of like, let's say at level 200, level 250, resistance all of a sudden becomes very bad because you get those spikes in damage that resistance would save you against. And even though 70% parry might sound really good, it overall doesn't feel really good because you're still getting hit about 1/3 of the time. So instead of separating the two parts, we feel like there is, and there already is on gear, a healthy balance between having both resistance and parry. So we are looking to, rather than excluding resistance over parry, we're looking to incorporate a playstyle where going for both is a valid option and is somewhat encouraged. So we are also looking at buffing the talents parry and resistance individually, bringing them down from their current 10 level stages to 3 levels for parry and 2 levels for resistance. These are the numbers that we have currently discussed. This might change slightly depending on if we feel that it needs further adjustment. And those fewer levels are going to have a much higher impact. They're going to give you 5% of each. So yeah, we're looking at 15% parry from 3 levels of parry and 10% resistance from 2 levels of resistance. Carapace and Ninja, the higher specialization of both talents, are gonna go away.
They're gonna be yeeted. Goodbye.
So these are gonna be gone. Currently, they only provide 5% each if they're fully maxed out, which is a very high investment for a very little reward. So yeah, we are placing a much greater focus on getting a mixture of both defensive layers. In addition to that, since we are getting into stages where you can stack a lot of resistance, where you can get a lot of parry, we will introduce a cap to those defensive layers. So you will not be able to stack resistance to 100%. You will not be able to stack parry to 100%.
Because that would make you immortal, and immortality is mending. Right. It's not good.
And so yeah, we are looking to adjust things this way. Additionally, we are also looking at making the apples that currently provide you with parry and resistance, the golem apple and the ghost apple. I just switched those two names around. We look into making those cheaper. Currently, they are very, very expensive. That was our original take when we started out with Season 2 and introduced these apples in one of the first few patches. Thought they're going to be really, really strong because you could reach 100%. Now we feel like if you are going for a lot of resistance, if you're going for a lot of parry, they should be cheaper. They are capped, so they should provide a great addition to your current gear rather than standing very strong on their own. So you can actually play with these apples rather than looking at them and never using them because they're very expensive.
Yep, never ever using them, ever.
Especially not crafting them.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are is the bit of the outline around resistance and parry. Whenever we have that ready, there is going to be, of course, more updated in-game descriptions, whatever numbers we agree on. But that's the rough outline on what we want to achieve.
And one interesting thing that you didn't mention that we have also agreed on is that parry is going to have a higher cap than resistance, which significantly higher cap than resistance, which may sound weird at first glance, but our idea is that a player builds their defenses with using both of these, and again, we are making sure that we are not balancing the game around having maxed both. We are going to these are going to be bonuses on the base balance of the game, which is why we need caps on both of them. We need to have them at different positions. There are some more in-depth plans for how to make parry. Hellfire touched on it here, and I think it's really important. We want to make parry feel better. Resistance is hard to make feel better. You're just gonna have to trust us. You are reducing the damage with the percent of resistance, but parry, I feel like we have the opportunity to, if you're a parry pog person, if you're HBomb 94, then we want the player that plays parry to feel like I'm parrying, and I'm here to also kill a myth that I am kind of responsible of putting out there that is incorrect. I've always said that parry is better for durability on armor, because when you parry an attack, your armor will take 0 damage. That is true. Whereas with resistance, it will always take armor. But durability in Vault Hunters is related to the amount of damage you're taking. So if the mob deals more damage to you, you take more durability damage. And what this results in is that resistance and parry are exactly equally good for durability. There's one of them is not better than the other. But yeah.
In addition to what Eska said, we on the point of making parry feel really good. If you're playing with parry, you will realize that having 50% parry is a 50-50 of just you not taking damage. But for you to enter a room with a lot of mobs and then realizing, oh hey, I parry a lot of these hits, it's gonna feel much, much better. The higher, there is a higher threshold of parry you need to reach before you really feel like, oh hey, I'm effectively parrying a lot of hits. I'm not taking as much damage. Whereas just with 50% parry, you still take a lot of hits. So parry itself only feels really good, or we feel like parry will feel really good if you have a higher percentage of it.
Yeah. Pete, you haven't heard this before. This is the first time you catch it.
It is.
What's your instant reaction? So to recap, before you get to answer, sorry, that was rude of me. But before you get to recap, okay. just to recap real quick, we are removing 10 levels out of resistance plus carapace, and we're making it to 2 levels instead. Each of those have 5% each. Now you may think that, okay, that's just what it does now, 10%. That's true, but we are also changing the cost. The cost is going to be significantly cheaper to achieve 10% in talents. The idea behind that change is to make it simpler for people to get into this. Do you really want to spend a skill point on getting 1% of something? No, not really. That feels really bad, feels boring. Same with parry. We are lowering the total cost to reach 15%. And we're splitting it up into 3 levels instead of 10. That is the recap, and Ninja and Carapace goes bye-bye completely. Now, how are you feeling? It's the first time you hear this. I wanted this to be a surprise for you.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few things that I have about it. It seems like it's getting the critical strike treatment, where critical strike from a player standpoint was very difficult to get into. It's like this thing costs 10 levels to get to whatever it was. I don't even know if it was 100% back then. But it was very hard to be like, I want to actually get into this, because the first few skill points that you spend are like, they only have the intention of maxing it out. Until then, it doesn't really feel that good. And then, of course, it got changed to, okay, it's only going to be 4 levels now. It's just going to be increments of 25. And at that point, you're thinking, oh, every time I unlock, it's actually going to make a really big difference now. It seems the same way that resistance and parry was kind of like, okay, the first few levels that you unlock of it, 1, 2, 3, 4% or whatever, doesn't really do much. 3% parry is almost like you have nothing at all. The chance is so low to dodge anything. And 3% resistance is very hard to even see a benefit of, because whenever you're ever going to take a 1 hard hit and be like, thank God I have 3% res for that. So the intention was always to like, let's get this maxed out as high as we possibly can. And that also goes to what you were saying, in that you want to avoid getting to builds that have like 70, 80, 90% parry or resistance, because then it's hard to balance, and you're getting to that, in your words, mending era of the game where, we don't want that, obviously. So I think it's going to be cool to be able to take both, because I've always been on the side of resistance as well. I thought that the constant was always better than the chance. I'd rather take that than a coin flip. But what you were saying about how parry feels better, it definitely does. I've been envious of people who have parry and get that, that parry hit, and it feels like, ooh, you get a little ooh when you're running through vaults. Compared to
You get
resistance,
good
it's like
shield
every time I
sound?
get hit, yeah, it's like every time I get hit, I have to do a mental check in my head. Like that would have been 2 hearts harder. Man, I'm glad I've got this. And, you know, chat's not really there to pog with me. In terms that I've learned Parry pog and all that, I felt kind of lonely. So
There
for
is
those
no
reasons,
resistance call.
yeah, resistance doesn't really rhyme with anything now, does it? So I think I like the idea of introducing more of them in, and it'll also I don't know, Carapace and Ninja. I never wanted to take Carapace, so I think removing those is fine. 20 skill points for an extra 5% seem pretty like you wouldn't take that unless you were trying to go for like a 90%, even close to 100% attempt at a build. So I think removing that is good. It'll be fun to play with both. I think it's a good choice. It got the critical strike treatment, the same thing I said before, and immediately after that happened to crit strike, I went right into it because it was just easier for me as a player. So it'll be probably one of the things I go straight into, like for a combo of both when this gets changed into.
Right. And with the apples, I kind of want to elaborate on that as well when we speak about balance, because Hellfire mentioned that we are looking to cheapen the recipe for the Ghost Apple and the Golem Apple probably as well. I haven't looked at the recipe recently. But the apples, to give everyone a bit of a behind the scene theory here and balancing gameplay, I wanted apples for the start of season 2. They actually came in after a few weeks. They weren't there for the start because behind the scenes we were struggling with how are we gonna make sure that you don't, you go Gluttony Charm and you eat 50 apples and you have 100% resistance always. We got to make sure they don't stack, and we introduced this Vault power-up buff that I don't know if I'm actually going to show in game here. I don't know if chat is aware of this, but if you look closely in the top right-hand corner when I eat the power-up apple, I get this buff here, powered up, and this prohibits me from eating any other power apple that gives you a buff. So that's how we kind of solved that. But with these apples, we sort of introduced them, and me and Hellfire often do this when we talk about balance and introducing things. We make things expensive to begin with, be it new skills, new talents, and then we go over them and try and, okay, maybe it's too expensive. Let's lower the cost. But Ghost Apples and Golem Apples, they've been in a weird position where they're just like, okay, no one's even looked at them. And they're crying in a corner right now. So
there is a problematic balance, especially when they're so strong. Like the Ghost one gives you 25% parry. Mm-hmm. We are adding numbers up 25% plus the 15% from your talents, 20% if you max it out. You're already sitting at 45%. The gear only needs to do a small part at that point, like idle plus your 4 gear pieces, to actually bring this up to 100%. So we were really conscious of that part and wanted to not entice a playstyle that revolves around going through the vault with a stack of ghost apples to then always have 100%. What a cap allows us to do is give you different options of reaching this cap. So we have a value we are comfortable with for players to reach, and at this point we can just offer different options. We can say, okay, you can get to this point with talents, you can get to this point with apples, you can completely only rely on your gear to get to this level. So it gives us a lot more options, and in the end, the players a lot more flexibility in how they want to play.
Yep. And it's going to be really exciting because also using apples is a managed thing in game, something we think about a lot. How much, what's fun in managing in the vault? Is it fun to manage all the loot drop? No, but there is a solution for it. It's called danks or backpacks or crates. So at some point, inventory management and hotbar management in Minecraft is a skill. It's something that you can develop as a player. You can become better at. And we are also very conscious of making Vault Hunters a progressive pack. We do not want you to reach endgame in 2 days. This has maybe been the most criticized things in Vault Hunters in general. It's it's too grindy, you guys say. Grind for me, and I said this in my streams, and I don't know if Pete agrees with me and Hellfire agrees with me, but grind for me is doing a repetitive task that's boring in its fundamental stage. It's boring. Mining, okay. mining 150,000 oak logs in order to make a time lapse. The mining of the 150,000 oak logs in vanilla Minecraft is the boring part. That's the grind. That's when you put on Sopranos and you watch the entire seasons or the entire series, all the seasons, while you get the oak logs. We do not, or I do not see that we have many aspects of Vault Hunters that is to be considered a grind, because we want to keep your adrenaline pumping at all times. If you need to quote unquote grind Paynite in a vault, well, you're not going in there risk free. You're going in there, you know, you're on your toes, you're ready to go, all of these things. It comes back to the fact that we want this pack to be something that you play for a long time and have fun with. Pete, do you feel like we have too many grindy aspects in the game?
I played, I don't know if you've ever played Ark before, but I played Ark for a good couple of years. You guys aren't even close to the grindy stuff. There's a lot of things in the Vault Altar that surprise you. It's quite a shock the first time that you're grinding out crystals, and it goes from requiring 6,000 gravel to 18,000 dirt, and you're like, well, that's a change. But it's like the further you get in the pack, the easier that is to manage. There's better tools at your disposal. You learn how to use danks more proficiently. You learn how to use like pickerangs and paxels and stuff, and maybe other things from mods to be able to acquire those a little bit easier. Storage is much more manageable. Like recently I learned that you can use from Mechanism the QIO import and exports directly to the Vault Altar, and it's like, well, that's perfect. That makes it even easier for me. So Vault Hunters right now does a really good job of making it where even if you are going to be required 7 times the amount of resources as you were last week when you were playing, there's going to be a lot of better ways for you to manage that requirement and not make it as taxing on you. So I haven't really felt like it's been too hard of a grind, even at level 158 compared to when I was playing at like level 50. I'd say it's even less of a grind now because of the all the tools that you have to be able to work with.
Progression.
That is a big part that we feel very strongly about, is the mods that are in the pack, and especially also like the tools from the mod itself. Let's just say Vein Miner and such, should help you to get enough resources in a very comfortable amount of time. Sure, the amount always increases, and that's where the mods should come into play, and they are assisting you in grinding up the resources, building farms, building, as Iskal put it in the beginning, building factories, building like processing, to actually get crystals faster at that point. Whenever you feel like, oh, hey, this resource that it requires is a lot, and I need to spend a couple hours manually farming it, at this stage you should already have mods available or the options to unlock mods that solve this problem for you if you invest a little time into automating the process.
Yep. The whole reason for Vault Hunters chat, we spoke about it earlier in this in the podcast. That's how we started out. That's how I started out my idea. Where's my motive to collect 500,000 sugarcane? Well, here it is. This is it. This is the thing. All right. I want to kind of move forward towards difficulty in Vault Hunters. This is something that worries us as developers, something that worries you guys as audience. And those of you who are planning on playing Vault Hunters 2 when it's released, which by the way we will announce in this podcast in a little bit or a little bit later. Are we hype? You're gonna get a release date today, chat. I'm not trolling. I'm gonna give you a date when you can play Vault Hunters.
And if Iskal doesn't, I will.
Oh yeah, I will actually make Hellfire do it. Okay, is that a deal,
no.
Hell? I will make you say the date later.
Oh no.
But one thing that is extremely important to think about is there is a perception, and I believe that some of this is from Vault Hunters 1. I always get referenced the grind in Season 1. In Season 1, there is a massive difference in a lot of things, but there is a massive difference in the core element of Vault Hunters, which is the crafting of the Vault Crystal. In Season 1, we had a static loot table that would pull requirements for the Vault Crystal. And during Season 1, I sat behind the scenes and I manually scaled it up and up and up and up to match where the players were at. And I even scaled it individually. Jardoon goes into Mechanism, he has a whatever it's called, the quarry from Mechanism. He has it very early, and all of a sudden the man has infinite netherite. Okay, so now I'm not going to give him netherite in his altar. I'm going to give him something else. All of that is scrapped. All of that was remade in Vault Hunters 2. The altar scales, and not as Pete thinks with level, but with amount of vault crystals created. And you can see in your stat page how many you've crafted. The more you craft, the more expensive the recipe becomes. And that means that in Vault Hunters 2, when you guys start out, I don't know if you remember the start, but the first crystal could be something like 8 cobblestone, 2 poppies, 1 nautilus shell, and 2 sugarcane. So, because it can also be wither skeleton skulls. They are weighted very low, actually. They're actually a rare one. A nether stars is the rarest one you can get. You can get that, and it's fine. The vault dimension is supposed to, from a lore perspective in Minecraft, supposed to be after the end of the dimension. That's why the altar costs you costs you purple blocks to make, right? But yeah, this is a very, very important aspect. And so this leads on to difficulty, because I feel like there's a perception from chat, from you guys, when I stream, that, you know, you talk about Season 1 and how difficult everything is. You're worried about, can I even play Season 2? Am I too bad at Minecraft? Maybe you're too bad. That is a thing. You could be too bad at Minecraft. But we are very aware of the fact that there are so many different playstyles, and in the next patch, in the Eternal update, it isn't just about Eternals. We have our new archetypes coming out, and hopefully with those archetypes, an archetype, to give you guys a little bit of background, is Frenzy, for example. This is the only archetype we have at the moment, a very, very, very strong talent, but it puts you, it makes you play the game in a certain way. Frenzy makes me play with my extreme risk reward. You guys saw me yesterday in my stream. I died, right? My totem, my fantastic totem with slowness immunity got yeeted, or hunger immunity got yeeted, and I survived thanks to the totem. We are coming up with 4 more of these talents in the next patch, okay? And those are there to cater to the different player styles, so that everyone should be able to play Vault Hunters. We've also picked up on something that chat has been spamming me about, and something that we are going to be discussing, and that may be something that we work into the pack, is whether or not the difficulty of your world, wherever the hell that is here, should matter. So if you play on difficulty easy, we may scale the vault mobs thereafter.
So you get a little more control over, like, hey, I'm not MCC winner, like I've not won 4 MCCs, or I've not played incredibly well in MCCs myself. I will need to like scale down the vault a little bit. I don't need the mobs to be that hard. So we want to at least give some level of control to players, so they are able to enjoy the pack, enjoy the vaults, enjoy the grind, enjoy the gameplay, without needing to be afraid that like a Vindicator is gonna one-shot them. It's only gonna two-shot them.
Exactly, and in this we will of course make it so that Jardoon can finally play the pack in single player like he's always wanted, with the new difficulty slightly below peaceful, called Jardoonish. Then he doesn't have to be scared. There will be no mobs in the vault. No, that was a joke.
And every vault will roll healing. It automatically actually regenerates
Regeneration 5. Okay, I'm gonna move around the topic. I want to today as well, chat. I'm gonna show you guys a preview of our webpage that we are working on. This is gonna be a tiny little preview though, and I don't want to go into specifics too much, but yes, let me see if I can change screens.
Hold.
This is something that I'm extremely proud to show. I'm very, very happy with the web team that is behind this. 2 of those are here today. We have a third guy called Mal, who's not here. who's leading the project actually, but Kumara and Goody. I'm gonna change the. Wait, I'm getting a. Yes, I will do that in a mo. I will change the screen and then we can kind of have some comments from Goody and Kumara on this. Here it is, chat. This is the splash page of our new webpage, which is going to be extraordinarily important for the information of Vault Hunters. And before I let Kumara and Goody speak about this, I just want to say, holy crap, this looks amazing, does it not? Wow, wow, wow. This looks incredible. And the idea and the main reason behind a webpage for many companies is that it's supposed to be a marketing platform. I don't give a crap about marketing platform here. I want a webpage that gives you guys that are viewing, that are playing the pack yourself eventually, full insight in what's going on and how the pack works. You will be able to, I'm not going to click these things, but you will be able to read everything and see everything about skills, about research, skill points being talents and abilities, research, gear, chat. We will be fully transparent. We will show you guys everything. You will be able to see what a rare tier 2 chestplate can roll. What are the ranges? What can I get on this chestplate? A bestiary with all the mobs and how they scale. I don't want to click these buttons because I want it to be a surprise. And there will also be a community tab here. We will also have patch notes available in a very nice place. And yeah, this is a beautiful thing. This is an absolute beautiful webpage. And the art design goes to Kumara. Kumara, what an amazing job you've done.
Thank you so much.
I love the portal. talk to me. Talk to me about how you envision this. I mean, okay. Let's not lie here. I know that I can be very strict about certain things at times, but you showed me this. So Kumar showed me another picture, and I was like, I don't like burgundy. I think burgundy is weird. Can we have it blue? And then she brings this, something completely different. I'm like, what the hell is this? This looks amazing. Talk about it.
Yes, so this has been such an amazing thing to work on. I've been super excited about it the whole way. We wanted to capture the idea of Vault Hunters and the excitement and the rooms. And so we went for a style that was very cave-like because you have to run through the caves. You have all this treasure that you're running after, treasure rooms. So you have a lot of stuff in there that represents what Vault Hunters is about and really captures the full essence of it. We went with a nice color scheme that's very neutral, but also is very dramatic. Because Vault Hunters is dramatic. Even people who are MCC pros are scared, y'all. It's hard sometimes. But yeah, so it's been amazing and I really love it. If you all look, there's also going to be some little secrets, some little goodies in there. Maybe you can find them. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil them, but yeah, there's gonna be some stuff here. No, Kumara, you've done an absolutely amazing job, and I know that the team has only been working on this for 3 weeks. 4 weeks maybe now, and there are 3 people on the web team: Goody, Mal, and Kumara, and we sat there 3-4 weeks ago, and I was talking about how I want a webpage that is informational but still very, very alive, and I'm so excited to show everyone this today. So amazing, Kumara, fantastic, unbelievable artist you are.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I appreciate everything. Never leaving you all. This has been amazing to work on.
Well, Team Iscalia at the bottom here. Team Iscalia, let's go. Before I let Goody speak about one very cool thing, well, I'm gonna announce it, Goody. This is interesting for all of those of you out there who are technically interested in fandom, etc. around Vault Hunters. Goody, my main man, has built a full API. A full API, ladies and gentlemen. Which, to 90% of chat is like, what the hell is an API, Mommy, what is an API? Alexa, set the degrees downstairs to 73. No, he has built a full API, which is basically allowing you guys, anyone out there, to grab our data to grab our whatever, our gear data, our talents, our researches, and these things are going to update as we patch Vault Hunters. So yeah, Goody.
We have. Yeah, thank you so much. It was an epic project to be working on, like the whole web project. It was awesome, but the API part, it was a special experience for me. I've been developing APIs for years now, but this one was something different because I needed to take the configs that we are using in the live server, and I needed to parse them into like a new format and then serve for you guys in an API manner, right? And it was an amazing experience. I'm so excited to see you guys build stuff with it. Right?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I'm assuming that you will probably, somewhere on the webpage, there will be API information and people that are willing, probably in the footer, will be able to find how to use the API and stuff like that. Look at that header. Look at the header.
Yeah, me and Mel actually thought about this, and when we are fully done with the API, or at least the version 1 of it, we are thinking about having a documentary about it, so people can use it without having like questions in their mind. They can have all the answers in that document, so it will be an easy thing for them as well.
Now, I see already a few people in chat saying, you know, is this live? This is not live. I'm not showing you the URL to our dev environment either. But, ladies and gentlemen, this page, if everything goes as planned, is going to launch on Friday this week. Friday, the 10th of September. 5 days from now, chat. 5 days from now. Sorry, Kim. It's 5 days in Europe, not 5 days in New Zealand. I apologize.
Noted.
5 days away from now, we will launch this webpage, and Pete, I'm kind of scared of the backseat gaming that's gonna occur. I spoke with Stress a little bit about this as well, and like now that people know what gear can roll, can you imagine the backseaters?
Oh, it's gonna get even worse. They're gonna have a whole wiki at their disposal. See, what you need to do is you need to release this webpage now for us, for the players, so we have 5 days to memorize it all, so that way that we know everything, so our chat can't be like, no, I looked on the wiki, you're wrong.
It's not a wiki, it's a webpage.
Right here. A webpage, wiki, you know, anything, encyclopedia, dictionary, whatever. They got the whole information catalog to.
They will know.
All dude, those streamers. You will
roll
think Rush is 5 minutes? I know it's 10.
You will roll an Idona tier 2. And the moment it ticks to an Omega rarity, the chat will go, well, you should Wu-Tax it because of this, and that.
Put it in my inventory or put it in my crate and be like, I'm not going to Wu-Tax this right now. And everybody be like, I have several reasons why you should right now. I'd be like, okay, can't argue against that.
Pog. All right. I apparently leaked the link to someone.
Yep.
Nice.
It is fine. It is fine. We just handled it. It's not online anymore.
Okay. Well done, dude in chat. Just ruining my tempo here. Ruining the joy. You should be ashamed of yourself. Anyway.
Bad person.
There is one more thing with this webpage that I will come back to. After we have talked about the release of Vault Hunters. That I think may shock a few of you. In a positive way. I hope so, at least. It's something really exciting with this webpage. All right. Well, super excited about the webpage. Again, web team, you've outdone yourself. It's been absolutely
thank you.
Incredible. I'm going to go to some Reddit questions now. And I'm going to direct these at people as we go. The first one is for you, Hal.
No.
And it says, it's from Eater Loltiel, saying, should we expect any other major updates to the vaults after the Eternal update? Or will there just be small and large patches? I don't know what large patches means there, but should we expect any major updates after the Eternal update? Or are we done, Hal? Are we done with the next patch?
Oh, we are not done. We have big plans.
We got big plans.
There is big plans, and yeah, I hope I get everything done in time.
We have got a lot of content coming your way, chat, in terms of both the series and the release of Vault Hunters. There is no stopping yet. We are. If you would have looked at our worksheet in April, you would have probably said this is not doable. But we've come far. We still have a lot of ideas, and we keep getting new ideas. A lot of you guys help out with that as well.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of exciting things to come, and things that will shake up the way you run vaults, and like some smaller and bigger things. And yeah, I am excited, looking forward to things I still want to do, and I hope I still have the time to do them. So
yeah. And on that, you spoke about this a little bit earlier in terms of patching and looking at things. Like things comes up when we build a patch that we aren't expecting, that pushes back other things. One of those things were that a couple of weeks ago I got a message from Heckfire saying, okay, Skull, I know we have this in the pipeline, this is what we're working on, internal update, but listen, I am going to spend the next however many days I need to fix the load time of the vaults. How the hell did you do it, Tal? That's another question from Megalith.
So I'm not sure how technical I want to be here. I'm just gonna say, as Kim and Jax has explained on her Twitch stream, which you should totally check out, be cool stuff. The vaults are built using jigsaws, so Minecraft jigsaws, the same way the villages are made, or like the end strongholds are built. That is also the underlying thing that generates the vaults. And we noticed that the jigsaws work very well for really dynamic things. Like if you compare a vault to a village is very dynamic, houses are placed randomly and stuff. But vaults are very static, they look very same-y. Like rooms are always the same size, and tunnels are the same size. So there's a lot of optimization to be had. And this is what we've done. We've approached it as generating the rooms individually instead of like as one big jigsaw structure, and that helped a lot. And yeah, I don't want to be too nerdy and technical here, but it's a lot of optimizations around jigsaws and realizing that the normal way Minecraft does them is not optimal for the vaults as we generate them. And another part was that the vaults were still pretty high up at Y level. Some players have noticed that the vaults are now much, much lower. So yeah, we moved them down, which reduced the chunk size. So that also got rid of a lot of lag when you joined a vault initially. And some players, especially Pete, you've picked up on this very quickly. When you enter an architect vault where the jigsaw is very, very small, and the chunks are very small, joining the vault is practically instant. It's even faster than going to the nether.
Mm-hmm.
So
you knew right away, oh, it's going to be a build a vault because you go straight in there.
Yeah. So those that want a more detailed description, I can probably write some stuff down on Reddit later. But that is the basic gist of it.
It's a very impressive thing that you did. I'm gonna bring up another question that's kind of goes in line with what we've talked about in balance. So I don't want to stick around this question too long because we've already been talking about balance quite a bit. But if we ask around, like just open up to, this is mainly for you, me, and Vutax, I feel, and Vutax left the voice call. I don't know why. Maybe his internet cut out or something. But what considerations are taken into account whilst making new features in order to balance them? Is from Eban404.
Well, there is a good answer here.
Yep, go on.
Whatever we feel like is a cool feature, and then trying to fit it in the game.
Yep, cool and fun. Yep. There's a lot of features that we could do that wouldn't be fun. We've got suggestions of doing, why don't you make Iskall to Hellfire. Hellfire, we should have a modifier that triples the health of the mobs. Hellfire to Iskall. No, that would make it boring.
Like
And-
no one wants, like if you need 5 hits to kill a mob, you don't want to sit there doing 10 hits to a mob for it to die. That's not fun.
True. It is very true. So I think in terms of this, like we test a lot of things internally. We kind of play around with a lot of things and how they work. We also put them to Pete to test live on the server without him knowing. We tweak a little value here and there and etc.
And suddenly something does 10 times the damage. You're welcome.
Yep. But I think we really think about the fun aspect and try and make things be fun. And that leads me on to another big question that's been asked by many people, but I'll credit Pingling123 here. Is there any plan to add ranged weapons to the Vault mod, as it would be quite fun if bows or tridents could roll different modifiers? Combo your damage increases until you miss a shot, for example, was the example. I love this idea, by the way. That's a very cool idea. That we have a massive problems with this though, Hell.
Yeah, there's all, like, during the early days of Season 2, we had made, or like, Komara, our beloved, has made very, very cool-looking bows. And we wanted to dabble into making vault bows and play around with this a bit. The main issue we face is ranged weaponry in general. And I think a lot of chat has, at some point, played Skyrim. What is the best thing to do in Skyrim? Do you know, Iskal?
I'm not a I'm into sports.
Oh, okay, fair. A good thing,
Stealth
and I
plus
see this.
bow?
Yeah, it's stealth plus bow. It is going full stealth and bow, and the good part is the other boss, or like bear or whatever mob you want to hit, will not detect you because you're sneaking. And thanks to you sneaking and them not detecting you, you deal more damage. So the combat itself is getting boiled down to you being able to deal with the challenge at hand very efficiently, because you're ranged, so you don't need to get close. And you can sneak around so they do not detect you, so they are not engaging with you in combat. And that is the problem we are also facing here. It's like, do we really want bows? The problem is, if we have bows, then we are eliminating the option for mobs to deal damage to you. So for us, or like for me at least, a big problem I have with this is that it will make combat very asymmetrical, and will remove a lot of options for us to make bows itself balanced.
It's a super tricky balance way. It's kind of like the extendo arm. So yeah, we have considered it, and I don't think we've said our final words on it internally, but it's a very, very tricky thing to deal with. I'm gonna move on to another double question from Heath Rocks, who I know have been part of this for a long time, and I guess that these two things are from me since Vutax is not here. Heath Rock says, what was the first things you wanted to change when going from season 1 to 2, and can we get some merchandise, some t-shirts and such?
Merch.
The first thing I wanted to change was resistance, obviously. But we've talked about that already, so that's kind of boring. I wanted to make sure that we scaled everything. I think the very first thing we changed, and a lot of people don't know this, but in season 1, I sat there and I scaled every player, and I scaled the vaults after wherever people were in the vault at the moment. And so I went to Vutax and I said, can we get mobs scaling with the vault level so that I don't have to do this in the back end? Because if you remember, chat, in season 1, we had like, okay, now I hit level 25, the vault got harder. Now I hit level 50, the vault got harder. That's not a thing in season 2. In season 2, it scales with every level you acquire. So I'd say scaling mobs for real was the first thing. I remember also talking a lot about loot scaling. In Vault Hunters 1, loot does not scale at all. You find the same thing at level 0 as you do at level 150, which is bad. So, yeah. Can we get some merch? I'm working on it. Had a meeting the other day with my company that I'm doing merch with, and hoping to get something out for you all ASAP. I think we have some really cool memes. We have some really cool Vault Hunter things. Yeah, it's just a question of finding time for all of this. But I know a lot of people are requesting it, and of course I think it would be absolutely awesome to have. We have another one from Heatrox for you, Pete. What influence has Pete had on the game development? He has had a unique approach. Well, it's not for Pete, but it's about Pete.
Okay.
What influence has Pete had on the game development? Well, from my side at least, we had to... We because of the amount of hours Pete played Vault Hunters, which is amazing, by the way, I found it hard to keep up with loot tables and stuff, because nothing is finished, because I'm using this time as a test trial to see what we need to increase and when we need to increase it. Right now, for example, I'm pretty sure I overdid Vutak shards, I overdid Vault Essence on level 150. I need to bring it down a little bit, I need to tune it down a little bit. But from my side, like the whole Jetpack thing was a big thing. Now, I want to say, we spoke about Jetpack earlier, the armored Jetpack was never supposed to be in the pack. That was supposed to be a blocked recipe. I don't know what happened there, Dowski.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Clean up,
it.
Predator. Clean up.
The very first thing we did in terms of mods in Vault Hunters 2 was that my message to the team went, make sure we yeet every single armor given piece from any other mod, because we are going to change the vanilla gear. So I think that the Jetpack thing, and watching how Pete has used the Jetpack, and to now having it to a point where I feel like it's balanced. And Pete is also the summoner of strays. So if Jardoon Cheeses on ever complains, blame Pete.
I'll gladly take a little bit of heat off from you guys on the Jordan complaining side of things.
Cool. Okay, we got another one that I didn't actually plan to read out, but that I found now. From Darkseid R, saying, will we see Vault Hunters 2 source code made available to modders? We don't really have an answer here, Hal.
We don't yet, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good question.
And Vutex is back!
Hello.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, the thing is here, chat, and this is very important, is that we haven't decided whether or not we're going to make it open source this season. Last season we made it open source, and unfortunately, a few groups of people exploited it a bit and kind of made it worse. And I wouldn't want that to happen again. At the same time, I'm sure that both me and I know the Vutak's standpoint of this, but also Hellfire, of course, it would be nice to provide the code so that people can learn and use it as a helping tool. But Hell, what are your feelings? And Boo, what are your feelings?
Well, my main motivation is similar to Astral Sorcery. I want people to not copy my code. I want people to look at my code and think about why I implemented something the way I did. I try to polish it up and make it readable as good as I can, I guess. So that's at least my opinion. I don't want people to just take it one-to-one as it is and make slight adjustments and say like, oh, hey, I made this, when if you look into one or two files, you clearly see nothing has been changed. So that's something that weighs pretty strongly in my opinion there.
Well, there's really two parts to this problem, right? The first one is, do we make the entire repository public? Because in Season 1, we stripped away all this Twitch integration stuff, which I guess we could do again, but that takes a lot of time. And once we get it done, then is it okay to open source it just for reference? In my opinion, it's not that big of a deal if people take the code and do dumb stuff with it, as long as they respect the license, right?
Yeah.
So
definitely being discussed still. Definitely being discussed.
That's something we have to discuss, and we will see where we end up at.
I mean, you can do some pretty deplorable things with like pretty much any license anyway, but it's not something I care about, to be honest.
Okay. Well, we are certainly discussing it more. I will say though already, I will just up this and say that there will be no Twitch integration parts in the public release. There would be none of that. And if you want to play the pack and you're a streamer and you want to do what we do, then by all means figure it out. But we will not support it from the pack perspective, just like we did in season 1. And I've said many times that the reason for that is that I, as the owner of this thing, together with my team, do not want to stand responsible for someone abusing the possibilities of donations and all of these things, because it can very quickly become an addiction from a viewer, and that's not a good thing. So very, very important. It's not that we are gonna hunt you down if you do your own thing. You do whatever you want, but yeah. And not having it open source doesn't mean that you can't Twitch integrate it yourself. Absolutely not. There are mods that will help you with that anyway. Okay, so now that VooTax is back, I can ask this question to you, Voo. What has been your biggest obstacle you faced while designing the pack? And that is from the fake Gordon Ramsay. And I want to change it to designing, to coding, to like things that you have developed that has been the biggest obstacle.
The biggest struggle. It's probably the Vault backend. It always frustrated me how slow the original stuff was, and it's only like recently that Hell has done like the proper fix, and it's been haunting me for like months now. Which yeah, just like just making sure the backend isn't super slow was probably the hardest part. And also the Vault rewrite in right before season 2 started. We had like a week left, and I decided to rewrite the entire thing, the entire Vault backend.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, I was stressed out over it. I was like, what are you doing, dude?
I was spending like 8 hours a day just coding, and then it was.
And leading on to that, and this is a question for us, for you both, and for me, I guess. What has been the biggest regret or mistake in the development of Vault Hunters from Kessadol? Let's start with Hellfire.
Oh boy. Biggest regret.
Or mistake. We've had a bit of data loss every now and again.
Yeah, we had like a bit of stuff that was lost. We had to adapt in the end. We, for some time now, we have like a better system where we can restore inventories and stuff. But especially in the beginning, we had like 1 or 2 instances where the entire gear and inventory was lost, and we stood there and was like, okay, I guess. There were 1 or 2 times where we, after an update, have lost pretty much all data. So that also wasn't pretty fun. But I mean, this happens. Like, there is a saying in World of Warcraft, never play on patch day, so... Yeah.
I like patch days. Patch day, crash day.
It's the theme here as well, I feel. I always work to not have it be that way, but it's getting better, I feel, and then it's getting worse for some reason. So yeah, it's I guess there's a lot of stuff there that needs to be like always looked at. So
what about you, Vu? Any regrets in things that you've coded?
I think the most stressed I've ever felt about anything was when we made the first demo before launching the pack. So for context here, we started working on this like in October, I think. And
the code, yeah.
Yeah, code-wise, it was in October, and then Iscal found a few people. He was telling them about the vision and everything, and they were pretty excited, but we had nothing to show for it. So then comes mid-November, and we're supposed to do a quick demo to show people.
Oh no,
and
I remember.
Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
Everything crashed. Nothing worked. And I was sitting there. My job at this point was, of course, to design the pack and then get people. So I had contacted Jardoon Cheesersons. I had contacted H-Bomb. I had contacted Rendog and Stressmonster and all of these other people that was in season 1. And I was like, look, we have done your gems. And they worked. And they were like, okay, cool, and I had hyped it up proper, and everything crashed. Nothing worked. Couldn't enter a vault. Couldn't do this. Couldn't do that. Everything just went to absolute garbage off camera. That was quite funny.
And it lead me to one of the most insane bugs that bugged me for a while back then was you'd enter a vault and then out of nowhere the server would just start hanging completely randomly. And that one took me like a week to find. That was probably the most stressful bit of vaulting. After that, it was pretty smooth sailing, comparatively at least.
Well, I can't talk about any coding thing, but in terms of designing, my biggest regret, I think I've said already, is the resistance that we had in Season 1. But second to that, my biggest regret was making talents out of leech and regeneration. It wasn't my biggest regret because because we could remove them, but because I knew that Jardoon Cheeserson and a few others would take it the wrong way. They would think that we were making this into an ultra hardcore, including you guys, Twitch chat. And oh my goodness, when I announced it, I was nervous. It's called don't get nervous, but I got nervous. And the chat didn't like it. They thought that it was absolute garbage. They were like, this is a bad thing. It's called, why are you removing regeneration as a talent?
The removal of vampirism and regeneration was interesting.
That was rough. It was rough. It was rough to try and sell that to you all. But I guarantee, I think that we are all here today and we can all like sort of understand that if we would be able to take regen, what was it, 5 as a talent, like talk about locking in a meta in one thing. So I hope that everybody are in agreement about it now.
Yeah, it ties back to what we said originally a bit ago about parry and resistance and what we're aiming these talents and defensive layers to become. It's kind of similar with regeneration, and we hinted at this when we made the changes. We want to diversify the sources of recovery. So you can recover health from leech, you can recover per regeneration if you get a really lucky roll. You have your health pots, you have golden apples if it comes down to it. You have hardy apples even if you need something like in an instant. So all of these sources and rejuvenating cloud, of course, all of these things already provide you with a diverse set of possibilities where you can recover HP inside of a vault. So we feel like, or we felt at the time that just a guaranteed regeneration, a guaranteed leech, regardless of what you're doing, is just out of place, and that is not where we want this to go. It is basically like you take this or you're not gonna make it in the vault. So that is what, or like, yeah, it's the same thing that we had with resistance. You have to take this into account, so players will have at some point regeneration 4, regeneration 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that we definitely wanted to avoid.
Here's another question. This is a good one. From Equia. What were you most excited to work on / implement into the mod pack? And were you disappointed over the player audience and reactions to any of these? I kind of read this question a little bit different because it's a very broad question. So let me echo, I hope you don't mind this, but let me change this to the following. What were you very excited about to implement into the pack that the audience did not seem to receive as well as you thought? Kind of bring them together a little bit. Hell, have you implemented something that you felt like, damn, or do you want me to start here? I can start.
It wasn't very well received.
Or it could have been well received, but it wasn't like hyped like you thought.
I would have originally meant like catalysts, because they kind of came in low key, because we didn't have many modifiers. We didn't have too many things you could actually get via catalysts, but we kept adding things onto it. I don't know what came first, if the gilded chests came first or if the catalysts came first. I think the gilded chests came first. Or they came like similar at the time. So as we kept adding new modifiers, catalysts got better and better. So I feel like originally they were kind of like, they prevented random modifiers, so that was probably a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's
really
that's good.
I also have one.
Yeah, goodie.
Yeah. It is not like a code-wise implementation kind of thing, but with Bariton we had so many hours trying to craft the vault music, but it's not like getting the hype it deserves, I think.
I think currently it is broken so the boss music still plays. I'm trying to fix it. It doesn't want to work.
I'm all for that, by the way. I'm all for it. I
Oh,
love it. I'll
no.
jam to that for 37 minutes straight.
Yes.
Always
Nice.
the boss music.
For me, it's definitely the introduction of scavenger vaults. It was one of the most exciting things in my mind, and the amount of work that went into it, and Kumara's icons, like she drew 51 pictures. Kumara, I think 51 different
Yes.
pictures. Had to envision them. I was very excited about it. And the only thing I kept seeing in chat is like, it's too difficult, it's too difficult. And even in the dev team, I gotta be honest, like I'm being holding my ground, haven't I? I've been saying it's not too difficult, but people have to learn, they have to get better at it.
To this day, we try to convince Iskal that it's too difficult, but
Yeah.
it's not.
We tried very hard.
I won't have it. It's not too difficult.
We are on your side here, Pete.
I've vocalized. Maybe now's not the right place because Iskal's on his ground, and I'll respect that. But I've vocalized.
I saw H-Bomb the other day complete a scavenger vault with a few seconds remaining that he had faster on, so -5 minutes. And that proved to me again that, this is, of course, I don't want, and maybe this is a misconceptional thing, but I don't want you to win every vault you go into. Why the hell do you think we're scaling the obelisks, right? And the size. I don't want you to guarantee a victory every time you go into a vault. And so I can kill you, I can make the mobs stronger, or I can make it so that the objective isn't guaranteed. And because we got so much flack for making Vault Hunters too difficult, and because it's such a big deal dying, you lose so much time, I went with the route of making it so that every objective is not finishable. You cannot complete every vault. You will not put a gamba up saying, will Iskal kill the boss? And I don't want to see 99% believe, because I love believers, but I don't want it to be 99%. And I think that's very, very, very important that that we remember. Like
it comes down to a thing that we probably, I guess, could have touched on in terms of the difficulty in general around the pack. What is the actual difficulty? What is the risk inside of a vault?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have always the constant risk of dying. You have the risk of getting a pretty bad vault. Like right now, the focus is much more on which modifiers you get. Like if you get lucky, that's pretty good. If you get unlucky and trapped, or if you get trapped in something else, like all of a sudden the entire vault becomes bad.
Yep.
So
and we wanted to move the focus from death to these things. So
it's like overall, it's like you're gonna get a pretty bad run, and we would rather see people getting a bad run or not being able to complete an objective than being forced to at some point incite like them dying because we don't have too many angles in which we can tackle a player's like reward in that sense. Or it's just different angles of risk. So you're risking with a random vault, you're risking getting bad modifiers. Worst case, you're risking getting locked, which can't roll on scavenger vaults anymore for those who haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, so there are some people in chat still confused. Yeah, scavenger vaults cannot roll locked unless you put it on a catalyst. But if you put it on a catalyst, then that's your damn fault. Now you better complete it, So
so there's a lot of different angles. Like it's especially so with architect vaults. If you really want a lot out of architect vaults, like a lot of rewards, you're most likely risking not being able to complete it, and as a result, you're risking not getting an artifact. So that is a sort of loss. That is a sort of difficulty. You have to weigh the fact that you could get good loot, or you could get potentially an artifact. But you could also be able to get none just because you didn't get good modifiers, you didn't get great choices, or you got very bad modifiers on the vault to begin with. So all of this are factors that we feel are still making you lose things. You're losing a crystal if you do not get good rewards, essentially. But it's still better than you dying. Or like taking durability damage. If you if you do a scavenger hunt, you lose a lot of durability. That's pretty bad.
Yep.
But you didn't die. It was a loss in a way. But the counter side is of us making mobs harder, making them hit you harder, making you require to go even more defensive, less offensive. As a result, like slowing down gameplay. So that is not fun. And in the end, the only way we can deal with making the player lose a lot of things is killing the player. And that is not fun for anyone involved.
The risk is fun, and it should happen occasionally. But yeah, I agree. Like the step from moving away from, we had a saying in season 1, didn't we, Vu, where we said we want to kill the player 25% of the vaults. Every 4th vault, they should be killed. Jardoon Cheeserson got his name Jardoon Cheeserson because he didn't like this. He made every effort, including a brand new, never seen before bunny hop strategy of Doom, where he was jump boosting 10 and jumping away from everything. He didn't like that idea, and so yeah, we have moved away from the 25% death. We have moved away from any death necessarily. We have included soul flames, which guarantees that you can't lose more than the progression in that vault and the crystal. Which is a really good thing if you want to go in and farm a vault and you don't want to be stressed out, even though we've seen Stressmonster specifically being stressed out, even though she has Soul Flame on there, which is absolutely hilarious. But we've done all of these things in order to prevent the fear of death, and death being the only loss. We have looked at other aspects, just like Hell said. An objective is one of them, and that's why I think scavenger vaults are in a perfect position. Also, don't forget, the scavenger boss crates are incredible. In console, when someone gets a scavenger boss crate, it spams. Inventory size too small. It's 54 slots in there.
It's my debug message. Nice, finally triggered.
Yep.
You're overfilling the inventory. And we're looking at that. The problem is, and I've brought it up to Iskal, and whenever I get the time, I will tackle this. It can be that if you have too much luck, that you just at some point do not get more loot because the chests and the reward things are too small to fit that much loot.
Yep.
So there is steps potentially being taken at some point. It is just not right now. It's a lot of things on the table already.
There are a lot more questions here, and I'm going to have to save a few of them because I think we've gone through a lot. I want to ask Kumara one more thing. How does it feel to have? No, what the hell happened now? Wait. Okay, yes, Kumara.
Yes.
How does it feel to have talented artists makes art for Vault Hunters and a bunch of like-minded nerds try and decode and figure out how stuff works? This is not just for you; it's for Hell and Vu and Goody as well, and Dowski. This is from the Vault Hunters. This is from Lamb 2345567. Many numbers there. I can't participate in this because I'm not a nerd, so it's up to you guys. Take it away.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Kumara.
You're not the nerd? Sure.
Yeah, take the floor, Kamara.
It's been really, really fun. I am very passionate about design. I love design. So design is something that I do even for fun. It's just something that I love to do. So doing this has just been a passion project and amazing. Being with all of the dev team is like hanging out with your friends. For real. Like, we sit and we talk, we hang out just like any other group of friends and coworkers, but we're so relaxed and it's so much fun. We're always joking and talking about like big ideas, and you have a lot of really creative people in the group. So even though maybe they're not artistically inclined, they're also they have big brains, y'all. They have big brains and they have big ideas. And I think that that's what's really cool, is listening to these very passionate people who are really just excited to make something really, really fun. And that's what I really love about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
I'll just add to that yeah, it does feel like we're all just friends and it's really nice hanging out. And especially when Wutax and Hell are together and me and Iskal are also just sitting in the voice. Me and Iskal will go to each other like they're just talking like science nonsense. We don't understand anything. It's just magic what they're talking about. They're like uber nerds. We know a bit, but then they go like deep code stuff, and we're just like, all right, yeah, we know nothing. Pog, but sure, yeah, whatever you say.
Somehow it always works out at some point.
It does, yeah. That's because you're super nerds.
well, not me, but yeah. Kim, one question for you. Where do you get your main inspiration from when it comes to creating a new vault room from a canvas?
Oh Lord, so many different places. I think that ties in really well with what Kumara just said, is like hanging out with a whole bunch of people that are super creative. It gives you a drive to do better. Like, you think you have great ideas already, and when you see what other people are doing, you think, man, I can do better. I can definitely do that too. So I think definitely being around like-minded creative people helps push the creativity a lot further. But I think a lot of it really comes down to too much coffee and a little bit of ADHD and severe addiction to Minecraft. So I'm going to be completely honest. I think it just comes down to that. Just, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, and again, I just want to say, Kim has done an absolutely fantastic job on all the builds, and we have a little bit of a treat for you all, to quote Kumara. A little bit of a treat for you all at the end of this podcast that Kim is very much part of.
Super secret.
I love all the Reddit questions. Thank you so much for participating in them, Mr. Reddit. I have there are many that are going to get their answers now that I'm not going to read out, but we're going to talk about because we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the public release of Vault Hunters. Ooh. And I know there are a lot of people out there waiting for and wanting to hear this. So, first of all, before I give you guys, or before Hellfire gives you a release date.
Oh no!
Before we get into that, I want to sort of take a few things that people have been asking. I found over 50 questions on Reddit about these things, so hopefully I cover all of them in this statement. So for the public release, there are a few obvious things that are going to be working differently because of the fact that there's no Twitch integration. You're supposed to be able to play Vault Hunters in single player. That has been a very big worry from people in terms of, can I play this pack alone? Can I play it on my own? Of course you can. You can play multiplayer and single player. So let's go through the easy ones first. Statues and traders. How do I acquire them? And they will be in loot tables. They will be in treasure chests inside treasure rooms, altar chests, and scavenger boss crates, Pete. So you have to do scavenger runs if you want them.
Sounds exciting.
So everyone will be able to retrieve traders and etc. etc. Onto that, there is another question whether or not, or how the trader talent will be used. And I gotta say, like we talked about mistakes before, the trader talent was a mistake from me. This was my idea, and at the time it seemed good, and at the time it was working out. But in the public pack, the traders will scale after the level the player is at when they acquire the trader. So there will be a few steps, and there will be no talent that's called trader. This trader talent here will be yeeted in the release of Vault Hunters.
That means free skill points that you don't need to put into a trader.
Yep, exactly. Another big question has been XP gain, and this is something we kind of, Butax and me made very quickly on the last day before we released Vault Hunters 1. And it's definitely not optimal. We are going to have a way cooler system in the public release for gaining XP. One of the biggest requests from those of you who played Season 1 was, how can I get XP in a different way than just killing the boss? And there will be 3 ways of gaining XP in Vault Hunters 2 in the public release, in addition to burgers, mystery stews, and pizzas. And those will be, whenever you enter a vault, no matter the outcome, you will get XP. It will be faster in the beginning, and it will scale off as you get higher and higher, just like it does for us with subs giving us more in the beginning and less as the series goes on. If you die in a vault, you will get the least XP. If you bail the vault, you will get the medium XP. And if you complete the vault, finish the objective, you will get the most XP out of that vault. And like I said, it will scale so that it's quicker in the beginning and slower as you reach mid-game. The idea is that you rely more and more on burgers and other things that you find. Maybe open up a fancy restaurant like this one here. Could be a good thing. But that's how you will gain XP. XP will be similar to Season 1 then, says Dreamy. No. In Season 1, XP is flat and it's dependent on killing the boss, i.e. completing the objective. What I'm saying is you will be able to go into a vault, loot it, and bail, and you will still get experience in Season 2. The next thing is Raffle Crystals. We have introduced Raffle Crystals now as a speedrunning mechanic. And how the hell are we going to get those into the public release? Well, they will be part of it. And the way it's going to work is that you will fight subfighters inside the vault. Subfighters will not just be yourself in Season 2. Subfighters will be, if you're playing multiplayer, anyone who plays on the server with you will be a subfighter. And if you play in single player, it will be anyone in the dev team or the players that played Vault Hunters SMP, the season. And from those you will acquire seals, just like we do on the server, and you can craft yourself raffle crystals that you can use to speedrun unscaled vaults, just like we do now. And yes, if you play in single player, it's a good chance that you win your speedrun every week, so you will have to compete against yourself, but you will be getting a champion crate. And yes, Hellfire, we will be giving them challenge crystals, won't we?
Oh, that we will do. We will make a large set of challenge crystals. Since they are currently custom made for, like, with the person that receives it in mind, we will make a set of challenge crystals. You will get a random one whenever you get the crate. So you can potentially also get the one where you cannot open any chests, like Iskall had the pleasure
That's
in
a good one.
running.
That's a good one. Yeah. 4 times
Also-
strapped, 4 times treasure. Pog.
Also, Pete, how does it feel knowing that you will be killed by a lot of people over and over again in the future?
You mean, how does it feel that I might be killing players in the
Ah.
future? And
True.
for that, it sounds pretty good.
True.
See me in a frenzy vault. See what happens.
Oh,
That's the right mindset.
The next thing that we also need to touch on is Echo Hunters versus Vault Hunters in the public release. We haven't fully come to a decision around this. We haven't fully decided how we want to do this, but at the very base, if you play this game in single player, you will have equal amounts of player gems and you will have a much rarer amount of echo gems. You will be more mimicking a player, a Vault Hunter, than an Echo Hunter. But there is potential for servers to have potentially the option of players selecting a hunter style. But we will have to, there's a big balance issue, big balance act to make that work. So we will see how that works. But in single player, it will be a flat rate of finding Escalium and Puffium and Gorgonite, and a very rare chance of finding Echo, as that is the core design of the single player aspect of Vault Hunters. If you don't play on a server, that's how it's designed. Will there be a public server? We're getting questions on. Well, I'm going to talk about my Patreon servers in a little bit. But yeah, are you all ready for a release date?
oh, I am.
We get some Pog in chat.
Let's go.
I'm gonna let you announce this, Hell, but I would like you to remember that there is basically 2 announcements in one here. Let me write you a message.
Oh, secret notes. I heard it here first. We're still holding.
Let's go.
That's
We're
going
holding
crazy with
chat.
Pog. You better make it epic, Val.
Currently it is
Right.
still pause. You're pausing.
When are we releasing the pack, Hell?
We are releasing the pack. I mean, all of you have already seen it. It is that beautiful timer that you bring up when you press the timer key. It is going to be released in 29 days on October 4th. And it will be the initial release, and the things that we said today that we are looking at adjusting for the public release will be in there in that state. Mind you, this is not the full release. It is a sort of open beta. We will release wherever we are at that point. And the full release with the final vault and other things that we end up adding will be added to this later on.
But you can use the world.
Yeah, you can then just update to the newer version.
Yep.
Well, now that we said like, oh hey, it is, well, that's timer. And the point then will not yet include the final vault. It's like, what are we gonna do then?
Well, yeah.
You want to?
Yeah, let me elaborate on this one. So
Okay.
for those of you who were in 4th of October is the date, chat. We are gonna go there. We went there. I'm so excited. And I know that Hellfire is super excited as well, and I think Vutax is scared, and I think that Dowski is mopping floors in the corner. Dowski, stop mopping the floors. We have announced the release date.
Oh Lord.
You can stop cleaning up the leaks. It is fine. Let them leak.
One big part of this is that in Season 1 there was no final vault. In Season 2 or Vault Hunters 2 there will be a final vault for everyone to enjoy and play. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a lot of questions if we are getting a Season 3. I have said all along that we have not decided upon a Season 3 yet. We do not know. I do not know today if there will be a Season 3. What I do know though is that Season 2 will last a little bit longer than you all were expecting. We are going to be playing Season 2 on this world together with everyone until December 16th. And I'm very much looking forward to playing Vault Hunters when you guys have Vault Hunters yourself and the webpage. December 16th. The players have known about this for a while. That's why no one is stressing out. That's not why no one is really worried, because we are here to play a pack that isn't just about 25 artifacts, chat. It's also about building a base. It's also about building infrastructure. But it's very much also about another goal. Get yourself geared up. Get yourself familiar with the build, the archetype you want to do before you enter that final vault, because that final vault is going to be brutal. So even after collecting the 25 artifacts, the player is expected to continue to level, to continue to master and polish the build that they have. How do you feel about this, Pete? There's a lot of things here.
I love it. I absolutely love having more time on the series. I didn't want to say goodbye to my base after 30 days. I don't know, because I got added, like, I was the second latest addition into here, so, you know, I would think I'm on day 64 myself, so, you know, I wanted to get to, like, at least 100 days on here. I felt like that would be cool, and I feel like I've got a little bit of a better chance to do that now, but I'm happy. I'm happy to be playing more, and it's one of the things of what I've enjoyed so much of being on here is like with the amount of playtime that I've had per day is like I really want to take the time that I have on here knowing, well, at least back then, that I wouldn't have as much time on here as everybody else. Of like, okay, I want to push this pack to its full potential. I want to see all there is to it. I don't want to just be like a, you know, lower level kind of thing where I'm just kind of seeing things from a second perspective or a later perspective. I want to really like dig my teeth into all that it has to offer, and seeing that we're going to have a lot more days to do that, it's got me pretty excited. I'm stoked. I'm very excited.
The last edition with the most playtime.
I see.
There was another aspect to this. Before this, we have looked at extending things with events and have thought about like maybe we should do an event to extend it a little bit. We were choosing this to directly announce it and lay out the plan here. We want to give the players the like expectation that they know like, hey, this is the actual deadline. This is when things are gonna happen. Well, if we make an event, we are kind of reliant upon things going well. So we just want to give us like also a bit less stress about potential outcomes and such.
Yeah, we want to
So we
see.
felt it is more comfortable for us to announce it like this.
And we want to see the game to its full potential, and we want you guys,
Definitely.
the viewers, to be able to play alongside with us. We want you to be able to not worry about the time, and to focus on the things that you can do in Vault Hunters. And we got Zine joining in as well, and as an example, Zine got added as late as well. And I mean, yes, of course, the Echo Hunters were always planned in my original plan of Vault Hunters. But for example, CPK was not planned. The way he came in had to do with the replacing of another Echo Hunter, and for balance sake. And we still have some inactive players. We are trying to get them to play and and stuff. But I'm not going to force anyone to play. But of course, all of these small things also have an effect. We got to make sure that we give everyone an equal opportunity at the end of the day to reach a point where where people are, you know, comfortable with playing the pack.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I hope everybody are super excited about this. Now I'm gonna move back for a second to the webpage as I announce and address something that I see a lot in chat. Will there be public servers? Unfortunately, to run the infrastructures of Vault Hunters is expensive from a server side. You need not one computer, but you need several computers, and you need to have them in the location where ping is not a problem. So at least I will not be providing free public servers of Vault Hunters. I have done it for vanilla, and that's as far as I can stretch. But for any Patreon on Diamond and above in my community, or any tier 2 subs in my community on Twitch, you will be able to join Vault Hunters and play in Escalia. We have servers all over the world. I keep saying this. We have servers in Australia, in Canada, and in Europe. So hopefully your ping will be okay-ish wherever you are, even if you're in, I don't know, Alaska. Here's the thing, chat. You will be able to... the doors will open 4th of October. I've still got some infrastructural stuff to work out with my admins and my Discord crew. But I think that we are going to start signups pretty soon. So if you're interested, you should get on that. Here's how the webpage plays part. This was also part of the Reddit questions, and I was really happy to see this stuff coming as questions. The webpage will, in stage 2, have an armory section where you will be able to, if you play on my servers, browse other players' data. You can see what Johnny has in his inventory. You will be able to see their talents and their abilities, etc. And in addition, you will also be able to track what we have here on the server. What gear does Pete have? How is Pete taken his talents? How has Pete taken his skill points? You will be able to have all of that if you play in my community. Unfortunately, I can't link your single player instance because that would be data security issues, and even ExpressVPN, I'm not getting paid to say this, wouldn't help you there. So you will be able to interact. This is also something I'm going to discuss, and Zine, who's here, and Pete, who's here, they don't know this, but this is something that I will be discussing, and there will be potential for linking the armory also up to other players' communities, as well as dev teams communities. We have Kim and Jax here, who's a big streamer herself, and there's some talks there in order to make sure that Kim and Jax's community also can be linked up to this armory. So it will be pretty sick. Like you will be able to go in and really do some research and find out what your what stalking? Yes, you'll be able to stalk other players. You'll be able to stalk the inventory of Iskall 85.
This is a direct buff to backseaters. What do you think about that, Pete? They will already know what you have before you can even tell them.
Mental's gonna be a thing I'm gonna be forefronting on my streams. Just be prepared. Anything I do, everything I do, it's all seeing now. I thought the devs were the only one that had that kind of power, but now it's every viewer. I'm terrified, to say the least.
Rip. I'm getting some questions here that I need to address. Oh no, I wasn't looking at my main screen as I was zooming into a stalking zine in the background. Oh dear, there he is. I'm getting some questions in regards of my Patreon, how the servers will work, will I reset season 1, etc. Listen, chat, let's bring that to my next stream because it's personal to me. So in my next stream, let's talk about that. I need to speak with my admins, I need to set everything up, etc, etc. Sorry, Pete, I have my magnet on. Get another chair, dude. Stop stealing my chairs. So all of the questions, Miss Nelly, I saw your question there. It's a great question. I will address it in my next stream. Most likely it will be phased out, but it won't be an insta cut. So it will be phased out. And I don't want to... In my community, I never ever yeet the worlds. There's always legacy servers that you can log on to, etc. with, you know, not as good servers. But if you want the world or for whatever reason you're alone there, you want to still play, you can play. We've been trying to do that in the past. So, but let's bring that on to my next stream. 4th of October, dev team. How are you feeling, Vutax? How are you feeling?
I mean, it sounds pretty insane. All this work, and finally we're gonna release it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Very cool.
Sorry, I'm just watching whatever happens, whatever unfolds inside the pizzeria there.
Carry on.
Okay.
4th of October is my birthday.
Nothing to see here.
Question earlier. We read it out earlier. Yeah, Hellfire, will we get there? Are you confident? I mean, you sound confident.
I mean, I will see if I'm gonna be confident in however the next few patches play out. So yeah, it's gonna be fine.
And I think it's important to know, chat, that we are releasing an open beta, meaning that is accessible to all of you, and it will be in the current state that we are in. The updates that we do from October to release date, to final release date, will most likely not be affecting the public release. So you will be playing a pack that you will know the expectations from. We're doing this because we feel like in 29 days we're at a state where we are not going to add any game-changing things. And in terms of like base game changing things, we will of course continue to tweak, we will add new features, but it won't be something that makes you need to restart your world. So I think this is a very balanced thing to, because the other option would be to wait all the way till the series is over and then release the pack, but I really wanted to play together with you guys, and Hellfire agreed as well. So yeah, there we are.
Yep.
I have one more little talking point, and then I'm going to round this podcast down with another big announcement that may be interesting to a lot of you people in chat. Let's move on to talk a little bit about the SMP itself, what's happening. We have some inactive players. I know that people are concerned. We are in constant communication with Tubbo, Fundy, 5UP, CaptainPuffy. And the information I keep getting is that they want to play. I think that every single one keeps saying that they want to play. I don't know why the hell they're not playing, because it's just to log on. But in essence, on the bottom line, when it comes to their gems, etc., we will find other ways behind the scenes to balance them up. We will, for example, we can easily double the amount of Tabium in a vault or double the amount of Funsuid. So we're not gonna get to a point where it actually breaks the game for those who are playing. But at the same time, I also want to urge you guys to not go to their chat and like push them to play Vault Hunters, because I think that will push them further away from it. I know myself, I have that issue with people asking me to play another series when I'm playing this series. That's just cringe, okay? So don't be mean to them. We love them, and of course we want them to play, but we're not going to force them to play on the server. And in terms of balance, it's fine. We got this. We have our 3 Echo Hunters that are very active. If Zine's connection can work.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
No, not your fault.
We're looking at options. We're seeing what can be done. So.
And then I wanted to talk about the next event. We are actually having that question quite a lot, like when are we doing the next event, etc. And the next event was planned to be September 10th, but we are going to push it forward to be probably September 19th, which should be after the Eternal update comes out, hopefully. And the event itself will be a little bit different this time. It's going to be an individual event. And it's going to be focused around quests for the individuals. So there will be quests for Zine. There will be a different set of quests for Pete. And they're not all about the Vault. They're not all about Vault themselves. They're about can be about base building. Can be about building a shop that's not a stone brick Direwolf 20 box. Oh wow, that was a weird swing. I love the interior though. I watched your stream when you explained it all. You're a very technical guy, Zine. But they can be about any other thing. They can be about integration. Or interaction. They can be about, okay, you have to run a co-op Vault Frenzy with Captain Jardoon Sparklez on, and he cannot say he cannot a single time say that this is not good. Quests like this. So it'll be.
They are real
That's actually
challenges,
wonderful.
and it's gonna get the most impossible ones. So, guys, are going in for a treat.
Yeah. Well, H-Bomb and CPK should definitely have a quest to build a better base. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be...
We said you were going to get the impossible challenges, not others.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be making the quest except for myself. Someone else has to make my quest, so exciting.
Yep.
Exciting to see. Exciting to see. Yeah, but that event is coming up, and we are aiming for September 19th. All right. How's everybody feeling?
Your quest is to somehow make my potion build look good. I'm
down for it. I'm down for it.
I make blocks. It's what I do.
I'm down for it, dude. I'll try and pay me some echo gems, and we got a deal.
I mean, I'm happy with how it looks, so I don't need to pay anything. But someone else is being bothered.
I'm just glad it works now.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Very cool. Dev team in general, I'm gonna turn to you, and I want to send a massive thank you. I know publicly, I'm so proud to have all of you on the team. Mookie, you haven't said much because I haven't directed many things at you, but your talents and skills in making jigsaws, the puzzle room, etc. Work the way they work is incredible, and I'm very, very shocked with how much you've added to this team since you joined in April. So thank you for all the things.
Thank you, Iscal, for inviting me. I know I've said this before, but when I was first looking around during the first part of when you asked me to join, I was really I was out there looking for something exactly like this project. This has been such a great time, just learning from everyone and being able to participate in such an amazing mod pack. I don't think there's anything out there that really comes close to what Vault Hunters is. And I'll also say to all the viewers out there, be excited.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, be excited. Oh, it's always the thing when we know something that we haven't said a single word about. That is just, I can't wait. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And keep being viewers. Like, keep giving us ideas and feeding us with hype. Like, that helps so much to everyone as well. Kumara, I want to thank you for I remember when I brought you on my team in the beginning, and you were drawing your first pixel art in Minecraft style, and you came to me and you said, I've done what you asked, but I have done it in 9 different blocks because one block doesn't fit what you want. And I said, I'm really sorry, Kumara, but we can't have it in 9 different blocks. You have to fit all of these things in the 16 pixels you have. And you said, that's impossible. And I said, I don't think so. Go and try again. And from that state where you were a very talented artist, but without maybe the Minecraft knowledge, to where you are now, when I say, can I get a pizza and you draw me a pizza within a second. It's incredible. You are such a talented artist, and I think Vault Hunters would look so much worse without you on the team. So thank you for being a part of it.
Thank
Also,
you so
you
much
can-
for having me. It's been really great. Yes, getting used to the Minecraft style. I'm not originally a pixel artist, so doing this has been a learning process, and I've been loving every bit of it. I love to learn new stuff. I love Minecraft in general, and the fact that I actually get to like put in these amazing textures and designs and items. It's just been so great. And then you all chat, the viewers loving the stuff that we're making just like drives us. Like it just drives us so much. I love that you are so excited. So yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. And Kim,
Also, you're very good at translating Iskal's requirement of make it look pog into
Yes.
actual pixel art.
this
Yes,
is
of
my
course.
requirement. Make it look pog. There's been a few items where I've been like, this doesn't look pog enough.
This needs more pog.
This needs more pog. Kim, thank you so much for making the vaults look the way they look. I know that we have had. I was going to talk about this earlier, but I think it's better now. In the beginning, I went to Vutax. This is how it started. I went to Vu and I said, "Can we do, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, can we make a crystal that has a random recipe and that opens up a dimension that is a risk factor where I'm going to die and it's going to be challenging?" And he said yes. And I said, okay, well then I'm going to go to my builder in my community, Kim and Jackson. I'm going to ask her to build me a few rooms that we can stitch together. And I didn't really have more requirements or ideas. I said to Kim, I don't know. I don't know the size. I thought I knew, but I didn't know the size. I don't know what I'm looking for. And bless you, Kim, you worked for 100 hours or whatever. Only for me to... You can take over here.
Turn around. I know. And to say after 80 hours or more, I think it was 80 builds, and you're like, well, that mysterious and ambiguous project I have, and the details I didn't give you, and 3 weeks of your life you've been building, these builds aren't quite gonna work. And I was like, oh, do I cry on the inside or the outside? I'm not sure what to do here. It was incredible though, and this is part of the development process, is because you start off, someone has an idea and someone has a spark of inspiration and they hand it to you, and it's very precious. And when someone hands you something that means so much to them and they say, can you look after this and nurture this and grow it into something, it makes it so much more special. It really does. And it drives you like beyond anything that you would ever know. And I think without getting too wholesome, there's a little side to Iskal that you guys don't know. That when he reached out to me and he invited me to join this project that hadn't been fully fleshed out yet, it was a genuine like light in the dark, because I'd lost my job in bits and pieces, and he offered me this new direction, and it was just perfect timing, absolutely perfect timing, and I had nothing to lose. And one of the things you got to do in life is just don't be scared to take chances, guys. Don't be scared to say yes. Just go for it. And then when I see how excited you guys are in the community, it just makes us work just even harder. So thank you so much. And don't tell anyone how nice this gal is. We'll keep it a secret, okay, guys? Just between you, me, and the internet.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. And I couldn't have done this without you. You know that. I couldn't have done anything of this without all of you, but Vutax, you've been with me since the start of this. It was you and me from the beginning, or it was me with my weird requirements, and you with your very weird voice abilities, and whenever you could talk, there was not very often we could have a voice call, I remember. But you have shocked me so many times on the amount of grind nights we've had where we've just been like, okay, we're just gonna fletch this method, this function out. It's just gonna work. After tonight, this is gonna work. And I know that I've been pressuring you many times and things like that. But I mean, the things, I don't call you a legendary genius for nothing. you've been an absolute and are. I just want to say, chat. I just want to break up this whole like this. This is not supposed to sound sad. We are not ending here. We are not stopping here. We are continuing here. But I think in life, in general, it's very important to make sure that you acknowledge the people around you that makes you better, that makes everything else better. And Vu, you certainly made me a lot better in a lot of in a lot of ways. And you know, you've had your really weird ideas for the direction of Vault Hunters over the course of your time, but yeah, you're an absolute genius, dude, and I'm very happy to have you on the team. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's been very fun working on the project too. I've been having a blast.
And I'm just gonna.
If anything, I should thank you.
No, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this, chat, because Vu has told me this so many times, and I don't know if he's changed his standpoint now, but Vutax has the. Last time I asked you this, you said, if I would have known the scope of Vault Hunters and how big it grew, I would not have accepted to join.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel the same today?
I still feel the same way, but like I have no regrets in that regard. Like, I mean, I think development of this project is a blast, but
it's a lot of work. Yes,
it's a lot. Like, in a way, I'd rather stay oblivious to it all, but also I don't regret getting into it.
No,
if that makes sense.
Oh, thank you.
The only way to cope with it is just not look at the amount of work that is ahead of you. Just work at it.
Exactly.
Just don't look at the next thing on the sheet and just work on the thing that you work on right now.
Yep, that's been pretty much the way I've approached it since.
And Goody, many thanks for you too. I know that you weren't originally interested in joining the team, but I'm so happy that you joined the Discord and that you became the hipster legend that you are in this community. And I'm glad that I could convince you. I remember that when I was chatting with you and asking you to join and you didn't want to join, I remember watching a Direwolf 20 video of him doing astral sorcery in a base that he had got printed from his viewers that he had included in building gadgets. I remember watching that video at that moment where you said, no, I don't want to join. And I was like, what do you mean you don't want to join? No. How can you not want to join this?
No, I didn't say it like that. Don't put it like that, Escalade. I was like, I told you I had too many tasks on my hand and I didn't want to like take any tasks or like take any ideas from you and start implementing it and like stop doing it immediately in the middle of the things. I didn't want to let you guys down. But I also remember that you just kept trying to convince me on like still trying to do it anyways. and I ended up like working on one of those smaller tasks that you gave me, and at that moment I realized that it's a development team I want to be in. It was an amazing experience. I cannot I need to admit that, right?
Very glad to have you. And I'm gonna go to Dowski first. Dowski, I don't really know what you do on the team, but I also don't know what you don't do. If that makes sense, because you do a little bit of everything every now and again. And
emotional support, recipes, coming up with ideas, mopping floors.
First one to run a co-op vault
when they mess up.
First one to run a co-op vault behind the scenes.
Exactly, together with you and Seki.
He was the first one to run the final vault too.
Oh yeah,
also
yeah.
I help other streamers when they mess up and try to do something that doesn't work. So that's always fun.
Dowski has been in my community for a long time, and it's an absolute VIP and legend in my Discord community. Those of you who are here that are part of my community in Discord, you know Dowski, I'm sure.
Thank you.
And I couldn't have asked for a better janitor in the team.
Oh, that's so sweet, actually.
And Hellfire, the guy, Hellfire suits his name very well. Hellfire is one of the most passionate people I've ever met, and he will fight for what he thinks is right, and which is also a reason why I brought him on as a designer of Vault Hunters a few weeks ago or a
Still
month
trying
ago.
to nerf scavenger vaults.
Yeah, we are very similar, me and Hellfire, in both of our vision for Vault Hunters, but we have our points that, like, I think this and Hellfire thinks that, and we just, like, it's almost every other, like, you get one thing, I get one thing, and we go on like that. But I remember that out of everyone, the hardest person to convince that this was a project that you should take part in was Hellfire, because Hellfire is obviously, as most of you people know, the author of one of the most successful mods out there, ladies and gentlemen, Astral Sorcery, which I believe at the time, in terms of content mods, is number 4 most downloaded mod ever. Is that correct?
It's somewhere up there. I'm not paying attention to the numbers. So
Amazing,
yeah,
amazing.
Some people seem to like the things I do.
Yeah, definitely. I have one question for you, though, and this is from chat.
Uh-oh.
What the hell are Vault Guard favors and how do they work? Because I don't know.
Ah!
I don't
Dodge it
know,
out.
dude.
Dodge it. We've talked about this. Dodge
Oh,
it. Dodge
no.
the question.
I don't know.
You'll never know.
Yeah, that's
I
that's a
don't
good
know what
one.
you're talking about.
Are we gonna get nothing? Is it just nothing?
Yep.
Well, like, the one thing I can say is that the effects of favors are currently very subtle, and unless you, like, really dig deep, you don't really notice them. Next update, that's gonna change. So there is gonna be stuff that's coming that you don't know about. So that's
Oh.
probably cool.
I see. I'm digging deep. I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, okay. You should try deeper.
Oh god.
Not deep enough.
Okay.
Yeah. There is still diorite around you somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, I just saw it.
Have you hit bedrock yet?
I've hit bedrock. Yep.
Oh,
You
okay.
can still keep. Yeah, you can keep going.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't just there yet. Might be another cave.
Anti-pog. Oh no. How do I manage that? Okay. I'm a Minecraft player. I also want to say a big thank you. We only have Zine and Pete here, but to all of the players on the server, you're of course making the series what it is as well. And thank you for being here. Thank you for taking part in this experiment. I think that someone said it. We have really made something that's not just Minecraft. It's a game at this point, and I saw chat pointing it out as well. At the point of Vault Hunters 1, before we finished it, we were already double the size of 1.16 update. Now, there may have been to some derpy goodie code, I don't know. But the amount of code we have is, like, Vault Hunters and the Vault mod is an absolute beast. And there are so many features and so many things, and I'm just so extremely proud that I get to mix my passions.
About that, I want to say a thing. I've been working on projects for years, and I haven't been in a project with this many lines of code, and it's just amazing. You know, we have had so many efforts in it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Zine and Pete, how are you doing behind the bar disc?
When am I
Pete's got some
finally
great
getting a
drinks back
burger?
here.
This is
Doing
not
fine. You want some
acceptable.
water?
No,
Yeah.
don't want water. Do you have not?
Okay.
I want to tell
Man,
a story
alright.
about Iskal though that I think is a little bit funny. Just and I think the audience would enjoy it a little bit.
Go
Iskal and I didn't know each other prior to Vault Hunters, and H and Sparkles kind of helped to get me here, and I'm so thankful that they did to them. And it's been great getting to know people. I'd say at this point probably my favorite takeaway from the entire series is just getting to be friends with Pete. But really all the people here have been fantastic. But the I think it was like the first time Iskal visited my base. I just barely carved it out, and I have a tradition of hiding in ponds. It's just a thing that I do. And Iskal came and visited and wanted to show off his abilities. And I had gotten my villagers and stuff set up, but they were still just kind of wandering around in a fenced area. So I had iron golems all around my base and everything. And
yeah.
Iskall chatted with me briefly, and then was like, "All right, well, you want to see something cool?" And kind of wanted to show off a bit. Used his reach to dig a giant hole up through my ceiling into the and then used his mega jump to evacuate and leave in a great flourish. The only problem was two things. One is apparently it was higher than he could jump, so he just fell back down the hole back to me. And two is that I assume Mega Jump has some sort of damage component because he had injured the Iron Golem that was next to him when he launched off. So he jumped up, fell back down, and then the Iron Golem just clobbered him just straight dead. And it was like, "Hi, welcome to my base." And he just comes, picks up his stuff, looks at me, says, "That was toxic," and then leaves. I was like, "Good to get to know you, buddy. Hopefully we have better interactions in the future." But it was that's a moment I'm going to remember for a little while. But I thank you for having me here, and sorry I was late arriving to this. I meant to be here earlier, so my apologies there. But it's been great, and just honestly, this is an entire community and group, not just a game and not just Minecraft. So. I'm literally throwing money and equipment at the problem to hopefully get my connection fixed and be a part of it again.
Yes, we need you back. We want you back. I'm hoping that the connection issues can be solved. I remember this Iron Golem though. It's funny.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. I was like, "Hey man, welcome to my." Well, and this is how I got kicked out on like day 2.
There has also been like one requested thing that we do, and I'm gonna have to delay this. There has been requested me and Dalski run a vault.
Yes. Oh yeah.
We're not gonna run a vault today, but it's gonna happen. I don't know
Tomorrow
when
wanted to
just
join?
yet. But
yeah.
it's gonna happen at some point, not today.
We are gonna have a Vault God run, and I am going to spectate it. I mean, it may not just be Hell and Dowski. I think the duos is a good thing. So I'm picturing that this will be sort of like an event that I will stream chat, and I will be my sports commentator that I've always wanted to be.
You will have to cast it.
I will be like, "Oh, look at this Dowski! Is such. Where's his
Where's my broom?
Where's his broom? But yeah,
Hellfire, make me a broom.
There will be a few of these. I think I kind of want to make it into duos. Hellfire and Dowski is a dynamic duo there. I also really want to see Kim and Jax run a vault. And I'm thinking, who do I partner Kim and Jax up with? Well, Mookie. Like, you guys work together on designing the vault. Let me see how you handle running them.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I've
only been in the dev. I've never played it.
There's been a few occasions where I run into Walt and I say, "I hate this room. This room sucks." And then I get a message from Kim saying, "Iskall, why do you hate the room?" Dead serious. And I'm like, "No, I didn't mean it like that. It's just like if I speedrun, this is not a good room for speedrun." Yeah, okay, Iskall. Well, so I would
not even that. We're just like, "Builders, change this. Builders, this is not good. Builders, this is not okay. Builders, take this out." All right, we'll do it.
And I definitely want to see a Wutax run as well. Maybe with Kumara. Or Goody, the original too. The original. Let's put 3 there together.
Dax's already been talking smack, and I've already told him he's going down.
You got it on, girl.
I'm hoping, chat, that this will happen within the next few. Well, I won't say days, but within the next few weeks, let's say, that we get a Vault God or a few Vault God runs in. That would be really hilarious, and just see hopefully, Pete, see the skill gap in. Us who do it.
We are obviously going to be much better.
Yeah.
May I
speedruns, maybe?
May I request a triple impossible?
Just watch us beat the speed record on the server.
Triple impossible.
It's very nostalgic to me because it was like the first iteration of the vault.
Yeah,
it was a triple impossible.
Yeah, you'll get a triple impossible, dude. Have fun.
Let's go.
Have fun.
The one who dies wins, right? Right? That's what it is.
No.
Yeah, that's the goal, right?
Wait, what?
Oh, the Gambas that day, chat, when I'm commentating them and in Spectator. The Gambas, the predictions. Let's go. That's gonna be hilarious and great, and I'm really looking forward to that. Triple Frenzy and Triple Impossible. You're just
I want to see chat run those vaults.
yeah. No, it gotta be beatable, but yeah, definitely cater to some
What
stuff.
do you mean? They're all beatable.
Prepare your channel points.
Hold your channel points. Hold.
All right, we have one big announcement left to do, and hopefully, Kim, let me hand over to you. Let you announce this. There is something big for at least a few of you that will be interested. So, Kim, take her away.
It is. Thank you. All right, now I have everyone's attention. You are all fired. Everybody's fired. That's it.
Damn.
Good job, Chad. It was a good run, but it just didn't work
GG,
out.
guys.
So.
All right, let's go.
Thanks.
No, we've got something
no.
super
Well,
cool.
anyway.
Super cool. Guys, we've got a community event and it's going to launch within an hour. And you need to be a part of it. This is so exciting. So what we're doing, so you need to be following, obviously, Iskal and myself on Twitter. You need to be in Iskal's Discord, which is discord.gg/Iskal85. We are going to be hosting a community build event. If you guys want to build your own vault, this is how you get your vault into season 2 and the future of Vault Hunters. And how cool is this opportunity for you guys to build something incredibly epic? Take what I've started with and I want to see you guys do better than me. I want to see something absolutely incredible. So within an hour on Twitter, you need to check it out. Iskal will retweet it. Get in the Discord, find out all the information, and start building vaults for us. Oh my god, so excited! So excited.
Yeah, it's someone in chat goes free work, yay. Dude, you need to go and get some candy or something and get a bit happier. No, seriously, this is an amazing thing, and I'm really, really excited. We've talked about this for a long time, haven't we, Kim? But like managing it is going to be tricky, or was going to be tricky. But basically, anyone who wants to have a shot, and I've got so many submissions through email and through Twitter of people who want to add vault rooms. So some people will probably do this pretty fast, where you but we will provide you basically with a schematic template, like a world file, I guess, and you will get the sizes that you need, and you will build a vault in there, or a vault room in there, and we will, or there will be a jury. I know Kim and Jax is leading the jury. I'm not part of it. No player is part of it because that would be unfair, but the Vault Gods are part of it. And at least one room will be picked and will be put permanently in the game for release. And what they will do afterwards is that you guys don't have to worry about all of these dynamic aspects. Kim and Jax will literally go in and cut it up and organize everything so that the room dynamically changes in terms of objects and stuff that spawn in there so that it fits the game. But it would be your design in the pack.
Pretty much. So all the information you guys need will be in the Discord. Keep an eye on Twitter for the announcement, all the information that you need as well. That's super important. And there's going to be a discussion channel too. So if you guys have any questions or anything you're not sure about building, get it in there and just ask us. No questions is a dumb question. Just ask away for sure. We're really excited to see what you guys come up with because you guys, you're the driving force behind the whole lot, you know? So we think you guys have awesome ideas and we can't wait to see it.
We want to eternalize your stuff in the pack as well.
Pretty much.
Thank you, Kim, for organizing this. It's very great. I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very, very excited to see what people do. Also, any diorite room is going to be yeeted immediately, so just
you don't get to decide that.
Oh damn! I did
Exactly,
just say that I'm not going to be part of it. Aye.
That's what you get.
Okay.
Bonus points to diorite, anyone?
Yep.
No, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have definitely enough time to build. There's like no immediate rush to this, so you don't need to start tomorrow. It's
there will be
fine.
time.
In Diorite Horse, we believe.
How long will the event be going on for, Kim?
Well, we're thinking to the end of next month, so the end of October. You've got plenty of time, guys. Plenty of time.
Build-tober.
We'll see how it goes. Build-tober, exactly. So yeah, we'll open it now, but you can build all the way up until the end of next month. So you've got plenty of time.
Cool. Okay. Well, I want to again thank everyone who's been here and thank you viewers for tuning in. I hope that you have been pogging. I know I've been pogging. I hope Pete and Zena's been pogging there in the background. I'm gonna read out a suggestion. Do we have a Culverine in chat? Do we have the legendary Culverine in chat? I saw a suggestion on Reddit that I just want to say that we have seen and that I've already taken some action on.
Yep, he is.
He is there. Culverine had a Reddit post where he, first of all, he phrased it pretty roughly, saying that, you know, Vault Hunters 1, I played it 3 times, it's boring. Okay, fair enough. But the suggestion that Culverine had is a suggestion that I haven't really thought about at all. And many times when we see suggestions on Reddit, one of us in the dev team has already thought about it and there's a reason to not do it, or it's in the scope to do. But this idea came out of the blue and I think it's really cool. Culverine basically wanted us to make, and I kind of want Scene's reaction on this as well. If you, for many mods, maybe not all mods, but for many mods, there should be a challenge where you within that mod have to get to a certain state. Let's take Mechanism as an example. You Matter is a pretty endgame thing in Mechanism. And if you get there, you get awarded with a vanity armor set that represents Mechanism and that you can use to transmogrify your vault gear into. And this is a pretty resource-heavy suggestion, right? Because we need our modeler, who's not here today, Danny, to go in and make models for this, and we need Kumar to make textures for it. But I really like this idea, Culverine, and I've already spoken with Danny and asked him to create a concept about this for one mod. And so we may very well get these vanity armor sets coming to the game where, you know, it's all about you can apply it to whatever gear you have, but you will clearly see that this is a Mechanism armor set. Obviously, Mechanism has the mecha suit, which looks amazing. We can't just rip that. We can't just steal that. So we'd have to make our own interpretation of what a Mechanism armor would look like. But yeah, I think this would be a very cool mid goal or additional collection goal in Vault Hunters in general. So thank you, Culverine, for that, and thank you for being here for so long. People are saying cheesers
cool
and
idea.
hats. It's a very cool idea, yeah.
I you know, like I'm picturing a helmet that's like the radial chassis from Create, and you just like this blockhead. But you know, you make a cool enough armor set, maybe it's a reason to unlock the trash cans mod instead of just using a spot of lava. I don't know.
Well, there are some people that have unlocked the trash can mod.
I mean, some people have points to throw away. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, what about it?
It's
I
their
want to spend
choice.
points on a trash can model. Spend points on a trash can model, right?
You do you, boo. You also built a second base out of botany, so like you're you know there's different levels. You know, some of us are at one point and others are at other points, and I can't compete with you.
In regards of the Jardoon cheesers and hat that we introduced, as I've said before, that will be somewhat obtainable in the public release. We don't know how we are going to do that yet, but we are planning for. Can I say this, Hell? We are planning for.
I
more
mean, we
unique
said it
items.
before.
Yeah, we did.
We are looking at more unique items. The one Jardoon has gotten was specifically tailored and was as a result of the Twitch rivals at the time. So we are looking at things where we can award specific players for something that is not like strictly related to Vault Hunters, but we are looking at this on a case by case basis and see like what's appropriate, what we can do and stuff. And yeah, as Skull already said, we do not have a straight idea yet on what we're gonna do for the public release, but that's definitely on the table somewhere.
Yep.
It might not be in the release on October 4th because we might also not have all the unique items in game at that point. But it's definitely gonna be something we're looking at, and we're gonna get there somehow, somewhere, sometime.
Yep. And this goes towards goals. That's why I mention it. Like the semi goals that Culverine was talking about, collecting all of the vanity armor sets is one. Angel is a very simple part goal that others have been, you know, memeing about, unlocking Angel, and things like that. But I want to remind you all as we close off here that collecting 25 artifacts, when you play the pack alone, if you rush to collect 25 artifacts, you're not going to make the final vault. You're not going to be able to do it. So there is a stage after the 25 artifacts, which is make sure that you know your build, make sure that you are at a good level, make sure that your power is strong, or you're not gonna make it, which is a thing. The 25 artifacts is required for any player who wants to join the final vault, though, with whatever that entails. You'll have to make your own assumptions of how that affects certain players. Right. I think that's good. I think that's a wrap. I think that I'm very happy that we got to do this. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's been super, super fun. This was so great.
Yeah.
Great idea to have this.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I've
Absolutely
been also
loving it.
sitting here for almost 3 hours and I'm still not being served a burger. What kind of a restaurant is this?
It's a pizza shop for one.
I'm the hungry one.
Hellfire,
What?
did you
I didn't
pay
come
them
with
yet?
burgers. What?
You have to pay
Give
them.
this
Hellfire.
man a burger, please. I'm gonna give you a burger.
There is no burgers here. I have accepted my fate.
I'm giving you a burger, dude. You deserve a burger. Today you deserve a burger. Here.
Thanks. Oh,
There you go.
burger. Let's go.
Wow. I give him a steak. He gets a burger. He's like, oh, the burger's so much better than a steak.
It's not like this actually feeds you, unfortunately.
Monthly podcast. I don't know. We'll see if we do another one of these. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. So we'll see how we do things. But yeah, we're gonna round off. Thank you so much for joining us. October 4th, ladies and gentlemen. September 10th is the website. That's on this Friday. Those are some important dates. Remember, we have a Buildtober context. Join discord.gg/escalated5. Check out more information in the channel. Vault Hunters viewer build submissions. Wow, Kim, that was a long channel name, but okay. Yeah, you'll get the schematica template and stuff.
I'm excited.
And of course, cakes are mandatory.
Cake in every room.
Mandatory.
Obviously.
Cake in every vault. Yeah, has to be, guys. Has to be.
Obviously, yeah.
All right.
Cakes blessed.
Thank you guys so much for today. I'm gonna mute myself in the Discord and just say goodbye to chat. But yeah, thank you, dev team. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Excalibur.
you.
Thank you.
Love you, chat.
Thank you.
Good.
Bye.
All right, chat. Thank you so much for being here today. I will be back. I will probably have. I'm going to work on the webpage quite a bit this week, but I'm going to try and stream. I actually did some work today. I just wanted to show you while I have you here. Look at this. I got a comment from someone saying, Iskal builds a blacksmith, but starts selling vault gear under a pink tree. And this is true. So I have almost completed it. I see that I've missed this row here with spruce, but I did this today. Yeah, next stream, I want to open this shop up for everyone to buy the vault gear and stuff. So that's going to be exciting. That's going to be exciting. I haven't had my notification things up once, so as I said, like I wouldn't be looking at that. But thank you all for the bit donations. Danny Penguin with the $10 saying, hi, I'm at the US Open, so I can't listen into the stream. Can someone give me a rundown of the stream so far? Dab, dab, dab. Lady Moonshadow, thank you for the dollar, saying, hi, Iskal, I'm noticing that the high sounds in game give me a lot of migraines. Example, the rolling armor, etc. Is there a chance to making them less high? I mean, yeah, you can lower the volume on, I think it's blocks or friendly creatures. But I can definitely look into where we have them, or if we make our own sound bar thing. Some of them are overpitched, and some of them we have already identified. But yeah, it's not good if it's giving you a migraine, dude. Lisa West, thank you for the 400 bits as well. It's me, Björn, thank you for the 500 bits. And Jomi, thank you for all the bits, saying, I will still be there every day, work or not. Omega love to you and never ever leaving. Thank you so much, chat. All right, October 4th. I'm excited to see you guys play the pack. Thank you, moderators, for tonight. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. All right? Have a good evening. Bye-bye, chat. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. Bye, bye, bye.